Hello and welcome to the Chronicles of Nidum, streamed by Dice of the Beholder on Dice of the Beholder. Yes, unfortunately, we are not in our regular home, Heavyweight Gaming, due to some unfortunate, can't be helped technical issues that are possibly in the midst of getting sorted, or there's going to be a complaint. But no, we've decided to come home for session 67.
You muted everyone, you twat.
No, I think
I
Greg muted Bry.
What?
Yeah.
Why would I do that?
Well, yeah, but the wonderful thing is, I'm muted for you guys.
Yeah, I was.
I'm not muted
I
for
was
the
thinking
stream.
probably that the stream wasn't getting your sound from.
I have a
this.
separate source.
Okay, I'll just do it to Charlie and Millie throughout the day then.
Yeah.
Why?
Please don't. But yes, we are here and we are excited to once again play D&D and have you all watch the hilarity that I hope will ensue. I know will ensue because I know these guys. Right. Before, obviously, we kick off, a word about our sponsors. First and foremost, we have, obviously, Loki Battle Mats, an award-winning UK-based TTRPG accessory creator. There are many books of battle mats, little, big, and giant sizes, and also the modular book sets that they do are full of amazing artwork that add an awesome backdrop to any tabletop game. If you are interested in finding out more, please search Loki Battle Mats on Facebook or visit lokibattlemats.com to visit their amazing artwork and shop their physical and digital maps. I don't have a Nightbot prompt. You can just type it into the chat, please, Mill.
I don't know the links off by heart. What do you want from me? If you told me I was going to need to do this.
LokiBattlemats.com.
Had you told me I was going to need to do this, I would have prepared it.
I'll do the Blink Dog one, or if someone could do
Charlie's
the Blink
doing
Dog
it, I think.
Cool, awesome. Yes. Professional streamers. Woo! Yes, our second sponsor of the evening is the wonderful and amazing Blink Dog Dice. They are a small but fantastic dice maker based in Cardiff, and you can find amazing examples of their work available on their Etsy store. Please click the link in chat, or just search for Blink Dog Dice, all one word, on most social media platforms. You can find them there and tell them we sent you and show them some love.
Tell them Trevor sent you.
Yes, Charlie, if you've got links, or you're sorting out the links at the moment.
They're done.
They're done, bitch!
Get fucked.
Can I finish the sentence?
No, you can't.
If you're sorting out the links at the moment, would you like to put the merch shop link in the chat?
No.
All right. Have a look on our Discord or our Twitter or our Facebook, and you can pop
He's doing
over and have a look, or hopefully in chat, and you can find the new, designed by our amazingly talented Charlie, the new merch, which is a Pride D20. You can have it on t-shirts, tops, jumpers, whatever. But yes, please pop over, and if you can purchase any profits made during the month of June, as it is Pride Month, will be donated to a Pride charity of our choosing.
We're looking for suggestions.
We are looking for suggestions. We've got a few. There are a few in the works, but any suggestions you may have, feel free to comment them on Twitter, or in fact join our Discord and tell us on there.
Particularly if you have a charity that means something to you personally, let us know and we'll certainly see what we can do.
Anyway. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yes, we can all see you now. There we
It
go.
took me a minute to find that link there, but I have found it. Because if I open it, it takes me into the admin version of it, and I'm like, I don't have the shop link, so I had to go back into Discord and grab it.
That is a fuck ugly link. Do we not?
It actually comes up as bad request as well.
Oh,
It's fine. I can get into it. I'll find it now.
Hey, Stu.
Okay.
Hi, Stu.
Hey.
Hi, Shane as well, who's also in chat, and Ian as well.
Yo, people, how's it hanging?
So we've got
I
some
got it, Mel.
people-
Short, shriveled, always to the left.
You're in the wrong order.
Hi, Jen.
Oh,
I look. I had to.
Worse than that, I'm still sepsis.
I had to look. I haven't got a picture for you yet. I had to delete the stream key from Streamlabs OBS, so obviously it wouldn't work. So suddenly, it wouldn't let Streamlabs OBS link this scene selection to our Twitch for some weird reason. So the reason that this took so long is because at 10 to 7, I started redesigning a brand new scene collection on OBS Studio, which is why this has taken so long to go live. Thank you all for bearing
superior
with
streaming
me.
program. The superior streaming program.
Studio is the superior streaming
Yeah, by a
program.
long shot. Streamlabs is
If
bullshit
it's so
to use.
superior, why does Bri make it look so difficult?
Oh no, this is fine. It took me an hour and a half to do it on Streamlabs. This took me half an hour. This is great. This is fine.
This is easier. That's what I use.
Still late though, aren't we?
So they're gonna.
Just ignore him, Bri.
I can't.
Just ignore him.
I can't. I have a.
Good job you're not married to him then.
Yeah, you make a very good and valid point. Right. If everyone's ready, last time in the Chronicles of Nidum. You finally arrived at Paras. Disembarking the train, you were almost held up by an inquisitor who was investigating the loss of many, many inquisitors on your journey here, and the 6 to 8 carriages of human slaves that you had very recently freed from the rear of the train.
Nothing to do with us.
A quick implementation of the correct documents from someone who actually had a reason to be here, a legitimate reason. Silk? No, Silk was mine. God, Quill. It's been 2 weeks. Quill.
Yeah, but businessman.
Yeah, Quill managed to talk him down, and very fortunately, with a word of guarantee from a very enterprising train maitre d', you were allowed to leave the train and make your way into Paras proper. One left your company quite quickly. There appeared to be people waiting for her. Someone that Dice took an immediate liking to. A half man, half jackal. Took one and other fighters who'd travelled on their own to Paras off to the auditorium, the Colosseum, in preparation for the events that were to take place in a couple of weeks' time. You decided to get into a carriage and immediately visit Quill's family in the area. Unfortunately, Quill's aunt was not in attendance, but you did meet Quill's cousin. Well, 2 of his cousins. The male, who was quite snooty, didn't really seem to want you in Quill's aunt's house, and Quill's youngest cousin, who, in her own words, was delighted to have new friends and to meet you all, and was looking very much to spending more time with you. You were sent by Quill's cousin to stay in a hotel owned by his aunt, where you were met by majority human staff who seemed happy to be working there, very polite, and incredibly good at their job as you were shown to the penthouse and left to your own devices. Quill sat alone for a while to think on what had transpired in his aunt's house between him and his cousin. Oriana decided to make headway in finding the Broken Scimitar, the bar in which you were to meet your bounty hunter.
Jarrus!
Not finding the bounty hunter, you found some old friends.
I'd also already sending to Jarrus, so I know I've got to wait a week, but okay.
You found the bar, and you found an old friend, Captain Handsome, who explained that the illusion of freedom... Sorry for people wearing headphones. The illusion of freedom...
I am wearing headphones.
Yeah. Experienced or portrayed by most of the humans in Paras and Charlegme was just that, an illusion. They were still under the majority control of the Elven Empire. You were also then summoned by letter to a meeting tomorrow by an interested party who would potentially show you into the world below the Paras that you saw upon arriving. When you returned to the hotel, it was Dice's turn to go on walkabout. Deciding that they wanted to venture forth into the human residence, or the human quarter of Paras, you made your way by carriage, driven by another human, who, after a few inquiries about gnomes in the area, took you to see his grandmother, who owned a tavern, bar, hovel. Upon entry, you apparently answered a few questions correctly. After doing so, the floor opened, and out of a hole rose, on a mechanically driven platform, an old, somewhat broken gnome. That gnome very quickly took a liking to you, and Ace, who had accompanied you, and took you down below, into the secret room below the hovel. That is where we leave you. No, well, that was where we left off. That is where we find you, sorry.
Oh, we're leaving you there, bye.
Yep, that's it.
That's
I'm done.
I will stay with the gnomes.
Hope everyone enjoyed episode 67.
Night.
Off to play Gun Wizards.
Yep, it's Valorant time. Who says I'm not already playing?
It's Mass Effect time.
Nah, no way.
Ooh, music.
I've got a spot. Not that's relevant to anyone else.
I've got a lot of red all up here.
You've got red on you.
I have.
As you Dice then descend on the mechanical platform into the room below, your eyes adjust somewhat to the darkness. The room below is huge. Much, much bigger than the basically living room that you'd found yourself in above. It's about, having looked around maybe at some of the houses as you were travelling through the human residences, it equates to about the floor space of about 10 of them, almost an entire block. But it is absolutely chock full of, well, to you, items of wonder and interest. There are machines everywhere, jammed into the corners, out in the middle of the room with other machines hanging off them. There are tools of all shapes and sizes, some of which you've never seen, just haphazardly strewn about the place. There appears to be, or there is a strange flickering light. And as you look around, you notice that the light doesn't seem to jump. There is a wire running around the room, and at different intervals on the wire, there seems to be a strange see-through, almost like a gel that's solidified, and every once in a while it will brighten up until it's like looking at a candle and then fade away. There is a blue tint to the light.
Blue.
And as you look and follow the wire, you can see off in the corner there is what appears to be rats in a cage.
Babies.
There are many, many rats in the cage, and on the different tiers of this cage, there's about 10 tiers. There are wheels, all hooked up to these wires, and the rats run on them. And there is a spark of electricity as it runs away from the cage, up onto the wires. The gnome rushes off into the room and is very, very quickly lost in the clutter of everything. Completely disappeared. The only reason you know he's still there is you can hear his passage as he knocks things over, and there's a crash and a clatter of metal and glass.
You okay?
No, you're still here. Yes, follow.
I'll try.
Follow.
And I will attempt to follow the gnome.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
I can't. I've only got D6s out because we played a different game last week and I've forgotten how to set my dice up.
Just roll 3d6s and add 2. It'll be fine.
Yeah, that sounds like a fair way to play this game.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, here it is. There we go. I couldn't find my normal D20, and it was worth finding. Perception check.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would be D&D Beyond's just closed itself on me.
What a shit website.
Look, it was a nat 20, Rich. Unless I'm blind secretly, I think we can just move on.
Was it an nat 20?
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you just say that? You don't need to. There's not many.
Usually people want the answer to the question they ask. I think that's why she wanted to tell you what she rolled on.
I'm going for a wee, so you carry on bickering.
Okay, so it takes you a moment, but you do peer through, and using the flickering lights to your advantage, you notice when the gnome's shadow kind of passes over gaps in some of the machinery. So eventually, you do spy a kind of route that he seems to have taken, though it is slightly more cluttered now than it was. And you and Ace pick your way carefully through the machines until you get to a relative clear space, like a clearing in the middle of a forest of metal and wire. And there seems to be a workbench in the middle. The workbench is the tidiest workbench you've ever seen. Everything is exactly in its place. The paper on it seems to have almost been ironed to a perfect flatness, no creases. Everything is perfectly perpendicular to each other item. It is perfectly ordered. Like an island in a sea of insanity.
Stop it.
Sorry.
Right, excuse me.
Bear with us a moment.
We're having technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, I fucked that word up.
We thought that the 2-hour walk earlier on would be sufficient, but apparently not.
It's worked on Waffle. He's just a pancake on the ground.
Idiots. Hello. Sorry.
That's fine.
Try that again.
And you find him now sitting at the table, or at the workbench, and he's scribbling something.
So, what do you want from me? Or how can I help, or something?
You came here, I think.
Well, Flandel Steelskin told me to find the gnomes, that things weren't great for you. I was hoping to find someone who could explain what's been happening.
Oh, no, things are wonderful. For me, I could not ask for more. Look, all of these things, I think I made them. Possibly. Maybe.
Okay.
I'm great.
What about the other gnomes?
There are no other gnomes.
There must be some gnomes. They don't
Well, of
just
course there are
disappear,
some
surely.
gnomes. I did not blink into existence. I had a mother, a father, a brother at some point. Possibly some children.
So, where
As
are
he
they?
says children, he just starts staring off into the distance, and you can see like tears start to fill his eyes.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you sad.
No, you haven't.
Elves. Elves. And instead of sadness now, there is fury in his eyes.
Where did the elves take the gnomes?
Nowhere. They're
You
here.
just killed them?
In Paras.
Okay. Where?
Wherever they're made.
And he points up at the ceiling and just like makes a swooshing motion with his hands.
What am I looking at?
The ceiling. Earth and wood.
Buildings?
No, buildings don't fly. Silly girl.
The airships?
Sorry.
I'm not
Yes.
offended.
Though they are evil. Not what we would normally make.
The airships
they are more
evil.
efficient.
The airships are evil.
No, they're making. Airships are wondrous things. These
Okay.
are what powers them. It is wrong.
What powers the airships?
The elements.
And why is it wrong?
Because they should be free. They are chained.
Chained elements?
Lightning should not be chained to boats. Fire should not be chained to wood without being able to burn it. It is against
The natural order.
Yes.
So, you're a gnome.
I think so.
If your god, I'm assuming your god is the same as my god. It might not be. Who knows?
That's a very personal question.
If my god had messaged you and said, find the gnomes, and had given very little detail other than this, except that they were in trouble, and then you found out this information, what would you do next?
I would hide in the basement of a very well-situated tavern in the human sector of Paras, and I would try and get any of the contraptions that I made to work, so I could get out of here.
And I could probably help you with that, but I would rather stop the elves using the gnomes. So,
I have an invention.
do you?
It is called an underboat.
And what does an underboat do?
Are you dim?
No, just confused.
It's a boat that goes under, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Boat, surface, underboat.
Like, it tunnels through the earth?
What boats have you seen on the earth?
I turned to Ace and go, he's making me feel very stupid, but I'm
Boat.
not sure if it's me or him.
Boat, surface of the water. Sorry, I wasn't clearer. Underboat.
You weren't specific. You could have meant under the ground.
It's a boat.
You're a boat.
If it was meant for going underground, I would have called it an undercarriage. Ooh.
And he starts scribbling furiously on the paper in front of him.
So, do you know anything about where the elves are keeping the gnomes?
It's no use.
I don't really believe in impossible things.
Roll a persuasion check.
Yeah, that's my forte. Ariana, where are you? It's not terrible.
Right, while Millie's doing some maths, can we talk about your obsession with having a gnome in our campaigns who invents some sort of boat?
Oh, just wait. 17.
I was about to repeat 17 back to you in his voice then. 17?
17!
17.
Quite a good persuasion check for you.
Okay.
I'm persuaded!
His shoulders kind of slump.
They are prisoners of the ones with the eye. The investigators. Them.
The Inquisition.
Ah, yes, them. They work in the factory, the base of a large metal tower thing. It's at the base of the tower where the airships go to refuel and take on cargo soldiers.
Your family's still there.
Think so.
What's your name?
I'm Cliff.
Fuck.
That's why I said I got. Hi, Cliff. My name's Dice. And this is Ace.
Can I see that?
he bounds forward quicker than you could have thought possible, considering, he's missing an arm and a foot. But in the blink of an eye, he's on Ace. And in just as quickly, he takes Ace's hammer from their belt and holds it up in front of him.
This was not made by mortal hand. But I see the mechanics in it. The machine of nature turns and works. And you will go far with this. Watch.
And he hands it back to Ace. As Ace takes the hammer, there is a blinding flash of light. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw?
Mm-hmm.
Why is Cliff damaging my friend? Oh, 19.
19.
God, I love this dice.
This is a Blink Dog dice. All of my favourite dice are by Blink Dog dice.
Blink Dog Dice, link in the chat. But you feel the light almost burn your eyes. Had you not closed your eyes quick enough, you wouldn't have been seeing it again for quite some time. However, the blinding flash, the corona starts to fade, and it leaves behind a beautiful splash of rainbow. But as that clears once also,
yeah.
you look at the floor where Ace once stood. Ace is gone.
What did you do?
There is on the floor roll me a religion check.
I feel I really need my previous character, but okay. Oh boy, this dice just fucked me. 6. And I have a +5, so we all know what I rolled.
Oof.
Okay. You can't read it. However, it is familiar to you. You will have seen it many times.
You're pretty sure that Ace is a Satanist now.
You will have seen it many times in the etching that Ace's father would have done on most of the weapons and the armor that they made. You would have seen it on decorations in Ace's house and many other houses in Nidum as you were growing up. This is knotwork and art almost that signifies the followers of Odin or Thor. However, it is burnt in a circle on the floor where Ace once stood.
That was a lot for an hour one.
Even
it's not bad.
If she'd rolled higher, she might have actually been able to read what it said. However, even as you ask Cliff what they've done to Ace, you can't help but be overcome by a feeling of comfort.
I'm not that comforted. My friend's just vanished.
And it is confusing to you. The knowledge that your friend has vanished without explanation, however, they've left behind a feeling of comfort. Calm.
I mean, I don't know how to pass those two things together. I'm not calm. What did you do with my friend?
Nothing.
I mean, you sure did.
No.
Where has my friend gone?
Oh, I don't know.
How do I get them back?
I think they'll return when the hammer brings them.
When the hammer brings them.
They're fine. That's what the hammer does. Or is supposed to. Maybe not now. Could they do that on their own?
No.
Oh. Sorry.
Sorry what? What did you do?
They're fine.
Where are they fine?
They have been sent to where the hammer is supposed to take them.
I'm gonna realize this is kind of a dead end, and I'm gonna reach out. Is the picture that's burnt onto the floor? Is it burnt, recessed in, or is it just like ash on the floor?
As you reach down, it is ash on the floor.
I'm gonna put a piece of paper over the top of it and make a print of the ash on the paper.
Okay.
And then I'm going to trace over it very quickly in a pencil to preserve the shape.
Okay.
Pencil, quill, ink, whatever it is the hell I'm using. And I'll fold it up and put it in my bag to come back to. I have to go. My friend has vanished. I have to...
There's something about you that was important. Yes, this, and he taps on your armor. Yours?
Yes?
No, not owned. It came from in here.
Yes, it's my... Well, yes, with help.
Well, yes, we must all have a teacher.
Yes, but the idea, the base designs, yes, that was mine.
See what you can do with this.
And he reaches into a nearby pile and hands you a clay jug stoppered with a very large, very haphazardly cut off section of cork. It's a clay jug.
I don't think that it's...
As you take it, you can feel liquid sloshing around inside.
I'm going to uncork it and sniff it to work out what it is.
Okay. As you uncork it and sniff it, then, there is a very strong metallic scent that comes over. Almost like when you've cut your lip and you get a taste of blood in your mouth. It's not blood. And as you look into it and kind of turn it towards the light, there is a strong bronze flash of light that comes back at you.
Okay, I gotta ask, what is it?
Had a dream. Found it here. Had a dream. From old Steelskin. And it should go to an armorer. I expected you to be much taller, male, and much darker hair. But, yes.
Is he describing Antonius?
Yes.
Unfortunately, the person that matches that description is insane.
No, the person in my dream was much in possession of all of their faculties. Like me.
Right. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna go. I need to speak with my friends because my friend has disappeared and I think that's important. And also, I don't know if I can do anything for the gnomes. I will look at it. I don't even know where to begin.
You do not have to try.
No, I do.
It is impossible.
Nothing's impossible.
I know. I have made a flying machine out of leaves.
What's west of Avalon?
There's nothing west of Avalon.
Thank you for your help. Greg, you're muted.
So I love that we just try that every time we meet someone even slightly interesting. Which is like,
Gotta find out, right?
Yeah.
Maybe this person has a different response. It worked once too.
Just gonna go around Perez. Like that's what. Spoilers for what Quill's gonna do. I'm just walking around Perez going, "Hey, what's west of Babylon? Hey, what's west of Babylon?"
I mean, that could be quite fun. We could get a megaphone through the whole city and see how many people can get chorusing back at us. There is nothing west of Avalon. Creepy. Thank you for your help, though. And if I can do anything, I will. Okay?
Okay. Thank you. Come again.
Okay. The lady upstairs, is
Who
she
are
going to
you?
hit me? Okay. Cool.
No, no. Like, I know your name. It's Dice. Who are you? Why are you here?
I am someone who was taught by gnomes and has a lot of respect for gnomes.
Free
And wants
gnomes?
to free gnomes. Good gnomes, too. Kind of sarcastic. Fond of explosions.
It is a strong part of our heritage, sarcasm.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. But they were my family. And I miss them very much. They're, to be fair, as far as I'm aware, they're still free and they're still fine. But
Hopefully
I grew
that
up
will
with
be
them.
true for a long time.
I think it will be. There is very little reason to suspect that would change. You spend all your time in this basement, right?
Yes, it would be dangerous to go outside.
And you don't receive any news from the outside world.
Is it still there?
Yeah, it's still there.
Is it still dark and miserable and horrible for most of the people apart from elves?
Sure, yeah.
Then I don't really give a shit about the news from the outside world.
Yeah, some parts of it aren't so bad. You can meet some really good people. But I wouldn't suggest leaving your basement if this is where you're comfortable. But if there's anything you want or you miss, a cake, something, I could maybe bring you something. More cogs?
Pens,
Pens?
quills, ink. Never have enough quills or ink.
Next time I come by, I'll see what I can do, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome, and
I
thank
will
you for
pay
my
you.
jug of...
I will pay you.
No, you won't.
Oh, you're not a delivery person.
No.
I'm going to have a lie down.
Okay. Thank you for my jug of something.
Use it wisely.
Sure. Yeah, I will certainly intend to do that. Yep. Mm-hmm. Sure. I'm going to walk back to the trapdoor, looking at it and going, but what the fuck is it?
There is
and then
an easy to see lever that will allow the trapdoor to move back up once more.
I will poke it and wave really enthusiastically at Cliff all the way up.
Not looking at you.
Bye, Cliff!
Ah!
Is the last thing you hear before he disappears from sight.
When I get back up, can I find Auntie What's-Her-Face?
Mm-hmm. She's
What's
still
her
there. It was Nan.
Okay.
Or Grandmère.
I'm
She's
sure
there.
they gave me a name, Jane or something. As I come back up, then I'll go, hello!
Bonjour.
Bonjour. So he's weird.
Who is?
No one.
Have a safe journey back to your hotel.
Thank you. Would you like me to beat your nephew up and ask him to pay you the money he owes you? Or maybe just visit for dinner?
It's never about the money.
So maybe the visit?
Oui.
I'll see what I can do.
Make sure he keeps his promise.
I'll ask him. I'll probably be back at some point. Is there anything you could use more of that I could bring with me, perhaps, to say thank you for your help today?
If you can perhaps get hold of some medicine, some herbs, I can help more of my neighbors.
I would really love to do that for you. Really. I'll do what I can. I'll get one of my friends to help me who knows more about herbs and plants than I do.
And I will, my door will always be open to you.
Thank you. That's kind of you. Have a nice day. My name's Dice. Okay, I'm going. Yeah, bye.
Au revoir.
And I'll go and find. Bye. I'll go and find the nephew.
He's still sitting outside in the carriage, waiting for you.
Hi, I'm back. You should visit your aunt more often. She misses you.
Every time I take someone in there, I get an earful.
She was quite sweet about it, and I don't think she...
I will visit her on my next day off. I promise.
She said remember your promise and not to break your promise. And if you break your promise, I'm allowed to come and find you and hit you with lightning bolts, so...
He looks like he's about to laugh. And then kind of looks...
I make my hand crackle.
Looks you up and down, sees the crackling hand, and... D'accord. Of course, I will keep my promise.
Next day off.
I guess I am coming back here tomorrow.
Smart. Very smart. She seems like a nice lady.
Oui.
Possibly a bit scary.
Would you like to return to the hotel?
Yeah, I've misplaced my friend. I need to go back to the hotel to discuss it.
Oui.
Thank you.
The journey does not take too long. It is now approaching the dead of night by the time you get back. The carriage driver wishes you farewell.
How much do I owe you?
It is billed to the room, madame.
Okay, and I give him 2 gold as a tip.
He looks at the gold in his hand. Looks back at you. This is too much.
Maybe you can.
That's
help
fine.
look after
That's
it.
fine. Of course, I must keep it if you insist. Thank you.
I really think that you should.
And he stuffs it in his pocket very quickly. His eyes are lit up.
Next time I need a carriage, who should I ask for?
Me.
What's your name, Duca?
His name's me.
Cloud.
It's me,
Cloud.
the carriage driver.
I don't think I can go up to the counter and say, hello, can I have a carriage? Me, please. I mean, I could, but... Okay, bye, Cloud. I'm just going to get out and go back in.
Okay.
I want a carriage and I want me to drive it.
Like,
I didn't know you could drive a carriage.
you want to what now?
You get back into the hotel. The night staff are on. The maitre d', or the head of the reception, is that you met earlier on that day, is no longer present. But the night staff do stand dutifully, smile and nod. And one of the women steps forward. Is there anything we can get for you? Or refreshment before sleep? Because it is so late. We can have one of the chefs go back to the kitchen. Is there anything you wish?
I wouldn't want to disturb one of your chefs for
No,
food for a
we
human.
we have a night shift. You are a guest.
Sure, but that's not the position I'm used to, as I'm sure you can imagine. I wouldn't dream of waking your night chef.
Then you will continue to have one of the slowest nights in history. Merci.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It would appear most people are sleeping. I suppose it's a good thing, unless they have all died in their sleep.
I like you. That's funny. Just make sure you don't say the Q word, because if you do, it'll stop being that, and then it'll get crazy.
Ah, oui.
We never say that word. Can you direct me to a herbalist medical shop somewhere? Not for today.
Where can I buy weed?
One that is open now?
No, tomorrow. For tomorrow.
I am not quite sure what would be the best one. However, our head of the reception, he will possibly know all of the best places for you to go and shop. I will leave a message for him, and you can inquire at the reception tomorrow.
Thank you. I really appreciate your help. I will go and find my friend owners. Okay, goodbye. So subtle. So fucking subtle, dice.
You step back into the ring and feel yourself once more.
Round 1.
Lifted by
Ding ding.
That was
Will
actually
walks
very
by holding a 1. He's wearing a bikini.
That is not... Does he have 6 bikini tops?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no, it's
that's
one
even better.
bikini top, but it has 6 like.
That's amazing.
Very quickly and
It's
silently
slinkini.
float into the air and step off on the platform in the hotel, on the penthouse suite once more.
I need to
see if
put a
anyone-
one piece at that point.
That's funny at this point. I'm going to, walk back into the room and be like, "Hey guys, I have a problem."
Yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my
Stick my
DJ
head out my-
revolves it and point
I
it.
stick my head at my bedroom window with like just a towel wrapped around me, like what? But it's soaking wet here. What problem?
Yeah, so I found a gnome. The gnomes are all slaves building the airships, and they're all fucking miserable, and it's really sad. And the gnome that I met is called Cliff, and he lives in a basement. But the most important thing was that Ace obviously went with me, and Ace gave Cliff the hammer, and he did something to the hammer, not a bad thing. He just activated some latent power within it, and then Ace vanished, and this was left on the floor, and now Ace is not there, and I don't know where Ace has gone. And also I have a jug of something that smells like blood, but isn't.
What? Wait. What was left on the floor from Ace?
This, and I'm going to hand Ori the piece of paper with the symbol on it, or the writing on it, whatever it is.
What do I roll to know if I know this?
You turned Ace into a piece of paper.
A religion check.
A religion check.
You've got guidance.
What does that give me?
Roll a d4 and add the number rolled to one ability of your choice.
That is an absolutely wild use of this spell. Like, Oriana's just reaching into her mind for some information, and like as she goes,
21.
Dice is like, I can see that you're thinking. Slaps her on the arse.
Yeah, that seems like something Dice would absolutely.
Thought.
How do you guide someone on a It's fine. Carry on.
I mean, you definitely can.
So, 21, you said?
Mhm.
Okay. It's quite badly smudged. However, it is immediately familiar to you, very similar to a lot of the artwork and the religious iconography that was that abounded, especially in Ace's father's house. He was quite artistic, if not, that he didn't actually care that much about looking good himself. But in everything he created and everything he decorated, there was a lot of love and attention and skill put into it. There was very little writing, though, in Ace's father's work. However, there were a lot of books that he had that were in a foreign language that he taught you and Ace to speak because you enjoyed story time at Ace's house. And reading some of the smudged writing, you can't get it all, but you do work out something about when called, you will travel. The Rainbow Bridge will open. Fight the Horde in Valhalla. Return when done.
So I'm guessing Ace has been called to battle in Valhalla for a bit.
How is that possible? All of the worlds are closed. We can't. Is it a different world, or is it like a?
I mean, I think it's still on our plane.
Theoretically,
It's on our plane of existence, but somewhere else.
Should we be concerned about this?
I'm concerned. Ace is going to get so much experience doing this. When they come back, they'll be like level 18.
Hey, it'd be nice to have a carry, guys.
I think they'll be fine.
Sure. If they're not back in like a week or so, I'm going to be getting concerned.
I'm sure there's no problem. Anyway, so elves are enslaved the gnomes as well.
Yeah. The airships that we saw when we came in, they are powered by harnessed elementals.
Yeah.
And the gnome was fucking mental, and I'm not exaggerating. This guy was nuts. His name was Cliff,
And bolts.
He was nuts and bolts. He was all over the fucking shop, and he lived in a basement. But his whole family has been taken and enslaved, and it sounds like all the gnomes are having that done. And when I said I grew up with gnomes, he looked surprised and was like, 3 gnomes?
Well, you're very tall for a gnome.
He knew I wasn't too known.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, it's not a surprise that they enslaved another race.
But they're enslaved to an even greater degree. They're kept in a factory.
That's understandable. I can see how gnomes would be the ideal factory workers.
But maybe
Straight up
with
a body
free
strip.
will? Right, so we'll just add free the gnomes to the list of things we need to do while we're here then, shall we? So that's free the gnome.
If we could stick that on the list, that would be, yeah, we'll just add that. That'd be cool. Okay. We live in Paris now.
Something just occurred to me as well. You remember yesterday I ordered all that ink and paper and stuff, and I was transcribing magical spells. Well, it cost quite a lot of money, and then I remembered something. I charged it to the room. We're not paying the bill for this room. This is going to be hilarious.
Have you considered sneaking into your cousin's house?
Yes, I was going to ask if you felt like coming on a little expedition, actually.
10 out of 10, I'm up for that. I would really enjoy.
Yes,
Ari,
I
you
really want
coming?
to know what's going on there. And also potentially rob him.
Okay.
I'm in. Add that to the list.
I'm just throwing it out there. It's been a very long day.
Mhm.
We did just arrive in Paris this morning. Can
We're
we
both
have
like,
Can we have a quiet night on the first night without?
Oh no, I was
Causing
going. Yes,
havoc.
I was going to break in during the day.
Right. Well, I mean, if tomorrow I've got a meeting, but I was told to bring my friends, but I guess I don't have to bring all of my friends.
no, I definitely want to come, and there's only 3 of us now.
Yeah, we're all of your friends.
Yep.
That's
Aces.
Aces in Valheim fighting trolls or something.
Okay, so maybe not tomorrow, but the day after. If nothing comes up, then we'll break into your cousin's house.
Wait, what time's your meeting?
My aunt's house. My cousin's just in charge.
Your aunt's
sure.
house. The same time I had the meeting today. I went there today, so it was what midday, early afternoon.
I think it was early afternoon when you got there.
Yeah.
It was just after
did occur to me.
like lunchtime kind of thing.
It did occur to me that actually, we could just kill my cousin.
What?
He's definitely.
No.
Well,
Wait,
I mean,
do you have no moral aversion to this? I know he was a cock, but
yeah. Well, I do and I don't. So he's obviously working with some sort of shady elves.
so is most of the world.
Okay, how can you be
that's
sure
true.
that he's not being blackmailed?
Or coerced.
Yeah, I mean, true, but my point it cuts to the. It's not the ideal solution, perhaps. It just cuts through the bullshit a little bit, because if he's dead, then I'm the eldest and most responsible member of the family around, and I would be obliged to take charge of things at the manor for a little while.
Doesn't he have? His brothers are away.
They're away. He sends them all away. Apparently, he sends them all away all the time, so he can get.
I mean, you'd have to make it look for an accident, and not to be the ace in the room. But is there a morally the right thing to do?
Okay, that is a valid point, and also.
What if?
He is family, so it does seem a little unreasonable. What if we kidnap him?
What if we first confirm that
No,
there's a problem?
kidnapping's too messy. Yeah, let's just investigation first, then make a plan on if we want to get rid of your cousin
Investigation.
or not.
Action, outcome.
But no kidnapping, that's too messy. You've got to hide him somewhere, you've got to
Feed
risk
him.
people find him, feeding, watering. Honestly, it's
Changing.
like having a pet.
And you can't let them go to
How
the
many
toilet then.
kidnappings have you done?
There was that person we locked in a room for a week.
They don't stay kidnapped for long.
Okay.
And they don't get freed either.
I know how to put someone in an indestructible sphere. Could I put him in an indestructible sphere?
How long does that last?
Only a minute.
I mean, we could, if that's what you wanted to do, but I don't think it counts as kidnapping because, that's...
Shall we investigate and then decide?
I just think it would be easier to investigate if he was indisposed first. I've forgotten his name, which is embarrassing because we're related and I've known him since he was a child.
Your cousin's called Quickfang. young
That's
one. Be sweet.
that's my younger cousin who we like. I would not
Oh.
allow. If you're suggesting murdering or killing Quickfang, Dice,
No,
I think
I love
you've
her. I
become
think she's
extraordinarily
adorable.
bloodthirsty very fast, and I don't approve of that.
I've just named him Dickhead in my head. Does that count?
It's busy something, right? I'm sure it was busy something.
Busy Claw.
The problem is I made a load of notes last time when we arrived in Paras, and I haven't saved. They didn't save.
Busy Claw.
The spell I was using crashed unexpectedly, and my notes didn't save.
It is Busy Claw.
Busy
Okay.
Claw.
Ori, if your meeting's early afternoon, if you wanted a lie-in or you wanted to come with, that would be fine. But what if we got up super early and we went before quite first light, and we went then? Because that's when people least expect a home invasion, right?
You want to go in the morning, you go right on ahead. I'm gonna sleep in and get ready to meet what could potentially be the only other full-blood tiefling.
Would you rather we put it off, Ori?
Oh no, go ahead. Let's just remember I'm not designed for sneaky espionage style stuff.
I know, but I don't want to leave you out.
I really don't mind. Look, when it comes to time to just blow something up, I will be there.
We could do that, but property damage is hard to cover up. You're right. Okay.
This is why I didn't fight on the train unless necessary.
Yeah, but when you did, you fucking owned it.
Thank you. Anyway,
Sure.
I'm going to bed.
I have
Oriana,
a room.
Sorry, just the thing is that I have every right to be in the manor. We don't have to go in full stealth mode. You're very persuasive, which would be useful.
I thought we could go in through one of the wing windows and avoid
do
your
you
cousin
have
entirely.
every right to be in the manor? It's not your home. It's
He's
just
also an
your
arse.
auntie's home.
I was invited. Let me put it to you this way: I could talk. I'm sure we could talk our way out of it if we were discovered in there.
I think it would be better not to get caught and to try and find out what he's doing without being seen.
Yeah,
you and I
it's
might
probably
be best.
Best try not getting caught.
I think I'd rather not split the party. I think it'd be good to all go in together, and if we get caught, we can talk our way out of it. I don't. You folks haven't had the privileged upbringing that I've had. I understand, but you'll be surprised at what you can get away with by just sort of bimbling around and being generally polite and charming to people.
You definitely weren't raised by a gnome.
No.
I was not. I was raised by a succession of nannies.
Wow.
Some of them very sweet.
I feel kind of
Right, fine. Does your cousin work from home or does he go out to an office?
I think he works from his home office. That's where he was.
You want to invade a home where everyone's going to be home?
and awake.
I don't think of it as invading.
No, I know you don't.
Visiting.
He will.
So it's
He
probably
doesn't-
best to go in and have something to
didn't say we
distract him while somebody else goes into his office and goes through his papers.
I know someone who's very distracting.
I have absolutely no idea how to distract your cousin. He's a man I have met once and I didn't speak a word to.
Trains.
He does like trains. If you went in there all sexy like and expressed an interest in trains, that would boggle his goddamn mind.
If you can pretend you're tradesman, who I promise I will tell you about sometime, Quill. If you can pretend you're tradesman, put on that anorak and sit there and be really enthusiastic about...
I don't think an anorak would help. Put on a psychological anorak.
Guys.
Yeah.
Come into my bedroom and teach me what you know about trains.
I'm really sorry.
I'm so excited for the train training montage. 80s
See, this
music
is-
starts playing, inspirational power ballads.
I'm sorry, in my mind, I had, is that what they're calling it these days? Come into my
come
bedroom
and teach me.
and tell me all you know
Give me
about
what you know about
trains.
trains.
Okay.
Train of seduction.
The
Put
train
that cargo in
goes
my
the
caboose.
tunnel.
Dear Lord, people. Dear Lord.
No, this is definitely like a really action-packed training montage where Dice is just like pointing to a diagram of trains and like literally laying tracks across the room. while
As you can see,
80s guitar
they do
riffs
this.
play.
Anyway, yes. Come teach me about trains.
Okay, but I'm really sorry in advance.
I wanna be
Okay.
the very best. I know so much about trains.
Yeah. I'm going to go into Oriana's room then, and because Ori expressed an interest in having the bed completely to themselves for a change, I'm going to sit on the floor and explain about trains.
Okay.
I'll be standing behind Dice, making minor illusions to act as like I'm a virtual whiteboard.
Okay.
Just
That's amazing.
Illusioning all the diagrams.
My raspberries are stuck.
Right.
Carry on.
Oriana, as you
Yeah.
now have 2 people teaching you about trains,
Great, yeah.
can you please roll me an intelligence check with advantage?
Jesus, what a...
Straight intelligence.
Straight into... What is that? Oh, it's across the top, isn't it? Oh, that's not too bad. With advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so helpful. That is... nine.
A 9. Okay. You know, at the end of this training session, you know a little bit more about trains than you did. You didn't take in the majority of what they said. However,
We got too technical. We went too far.
yeah, you know enough about trains to have a conversation. However, with your conversational skills anyway, you know enough that if you ask the right questions, you could probably get the other person talking.
Oh, hey, Ori, I also have a slight suggestion.
Yeah?
You know, something people who have pretty big egos like is having them stroked, right? So being not 100% on your knowledge of trying to be like, look, I know a little bit, but could you teach me a little bit more? You seem so knowledgeable.
It's okay. It's okay, Dice. I'm going in train bimbo style.
Perfect. Train bimbo. That's something I've never considered you before.
I can do that. And now, get out of my room so I can go to sleep.
Okay. Bye. And I'll go sadly off to my own room.
I'm gonna fucking dream about trains now.
A trimbo.
A trimbo.
A trimbo.
So, if there's nothing else you want to do then before you go to sleep? Anyone? No?
No.
Cool. The night passes more comfortably. Well, at least for 2 of you. Not so much for Quill. You're used to this kind of... Not this nice, but this kind of comfort. But this is the these are the most comfortable beds Dice, Oriana, both of you have ever slept in. You sleep.
Full starfish.
Yeah, you sleep dreamlessly. It's an even bigger starfish, obviously, for you, because it's starfish and then the wings draped and flopping over the edges of the bed.
Yeah, she's less starfish and more like dead ant. 6 limbs pointing out in every direction.
The night passes. You wake up, all of you, feeling refreshed. As you walk out into the suite, you walk out as you open the doors to the smells of freshly cooked food. And as you look at the table in the middle of the suite, set up for dining, you realise a breakfast has been laid for you all.
Fuck yeah! Breakfast!
Oh, cool. I go and pick out a bunch of eggs and whatever vegetarian stuff's there.
Cool.
Eat up, everyone. It's on the room tab.
I stand like weirdly awkward while Quill and Ori get theirs, forgetting that I could just go and get food immediately. That's myself, because I've sort of almost adopted this slightly human slave thing where you wait for people to be served first, just because it's been every day for months. So I'm like,
Dice.
Keep
Dice,
turning and looking at you every now and again, going, "Come on."
Dice,
What?
Come eat the breakfast.
oh, right, sorry, thank you. I wonder what Ace is eating.
Probably berries they found on a bush, I imagine. Mushrooms.
Hallucinogens.
You don't start making sausages until you go to the swamp.
It's true.
So, the day passes quite quickly through to lunch. Do you make your way? Is there anything you wanted to do, Dice, by the way?
I want to have a bath.
Did you want to work out what was in the jar you were given by Cliff?
Not till this evening.
Cool.
I want to have a bath.
All right.
I smell like armor.
You have your bath. You clean your armor as best you can. And then very jealous when Oriana just wanders up and does prestidigitation and just scours it completely clean after all the work
Actually,
you put in.
No, that's super helpful. Thank you. I should have thought to ask.
That's fine.
Quill,
Yes.
there is a letter sent to the room for you.
I will read it in my extraordinarily long and heavily perfumed bath.
You seem, cousin, to be racking up quite the bill already. Please remember that your lodgings and food are on the family, but any extraneous expenses should come from your pocket. It's the bounds of hospitality can only be pushed so far. You understand, of course.
I'm going to kill this guy.
Busy Claw.
You're not going to kill him.
Under which,
Oh, wait, I can't hear you.
What are you doing in my bathroom?
Under which is an invoice for the quill, for the paper and ink.
I hate you. I'm not talking to you anymore. This stream's over.
Seems very in
Saying.
keeping.
I'm just saying that could be a great inn for Oriana for going to visit.
Yeah, I feel like you're just doing that to ruin my fun because like the family are like the equivalent of millionaires. I've spent like pocket money to them. They wouldn't notice. This is just spite.
No. You're right. Most of your family wouldn't notice.
No, I'm saying like this is just Busy Claw being spiteful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is quibbling. He's quibbling over pennies.
I mean, sure, that looks like pennies.
As you look over Quill's shoulder and see the I think we worked it out. It's around about 550.
He's in the bath.
Gold.
Yeah, I'm not there.
There's so many flower petals. I'm barely more exposed in this bath than I would be out of it.
Okay.
And fully clothed. There's so many flower petals. You can't. It's just absolutely astonishing. Yes, this is. It's suspicious that he's doing this, Dice.
Okay.
Sorry, everyone just paused to watch Charlie pour cocoa like.
Pouring my coke and everything went really quiet, and I looked up and everyone just staring. I was like, pouring a drink, guys, can we not?
Rip it and rip it, baby.
You're pouring it from really high above the glass. Look, yes, why? No!
She's aerating it.
Yeah.
As your baths end, you're all clean, ready for the day. You have lunch and make your way.
My bath ended way after lunch. No, I'm joking.
And you make your way to the broken scimitar.
Just before we leave, I turn to Tori and go, Ori, smell my hair. It doesn't smell like metal. Smell it.
Ooh, what's
That
that?
was
Persimmon?
wonderful.
It's so nice.
It smells like persimmon. Is that persimmon?
I think so, but look how big it is.
I mean, I favour lavender oils myself, but yes, no, it's very pleasant.
It's not at all. And then I get back into my metal armor, and then we leave for lunch.
Yeah, if you give me the invoice, Quill, and the payment, I can say that I've gone there to drop it off. And then I have an inn to talk to him.
Or you could go there with the invoice and explain to him that I'm cash poor right now, and that he should send the bill to my father.
How much is the invoice for?
550 gold.
And how much do you currently have on you?
650 gold.
Can you give like a down payment, a deposit?
It's not really how things are done around here.
I also don't think Quill wants to and feels like his cousin's an arsehole.
I think I think my intention is to tell Busy Claw that I am not traveling with a great deal of money on me because of general vagabondery, and that I have an account. We all have accounts. I haven't collected.
That's not something I would
allowance.
turn up to the house with, Quill. Surely if you owe him money, you just send him a letter back about that, but you wouldn't send gold with just any messenger, would you? So it makes more sense if I was going with at least some gold for him.
Surely it makes.
Also, do you want to give him a reason to think you might be trying to break in? Because if he goes back to his room and sees somebody's been ransacking through his things, then you're going to be his first suspect if you're not even willing to have, a good nature in paying something.
We wouldn't be so careless as to leave a mess. Come on.
True, and also I don't think I'd be his first suspect because if he's into such dodgy shit as I suspect he is, I'm sure he would have many suspects if someone were to break in and mess up his room.
Fine, I'll
at
think
least
of
all
another
my
reason
other
for me to be there.
Well, why don't you go on the pretenses that you are explaining to him that I don't have the money right now and will have to pay him later.
But you would normally just send that in a letter.
Yeah, but I'm sure he'd be pleased to see you, and
then you can also segue into a
but it's
conversation about
personable,
being fascinated about his trains.
and it's personable. I could just send a letter, but instead I send one of my bosom companions to be.
Okay,
Bosom.
fine. I will go, I will talk to him, and if I end up throwing a fireball, it's on you.
I mean, that
I
also
wouldn't
wouldn't
be
be the end
offended.
of the
by
world.
it. Fine. Yes.
Okay, well, are we going?
Either quick fang or I am in charge at that point, so it's fine.
I don't think we're going there. I think we're going to the Broken Scimitar.
Are we going to your cousin's?
After the broken scimitar, I thought we were
After
going
the
there for
broken
lunch.
Well, Broken Scimitar is just after lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to the right. Okay, well, I know the way, so follow me. I head out the door.
Okay.
Oriana, are you all right? You seem a little stressed today.
I'm potentially about to meet someone who is the same purity and race as me. That I didn't even know existed anymore.
I can
I'm
see
a
how that
little
would be.
stressed.
Yeah, I can see how that would be a little unusual.
Much? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're worried about your cousin not spending money on you.
No, I'm not. I'm worried about what it is that he's doing and why he's being a dickhead.
Okay.
Quite a close family.
Oh, it's definitely sounded that way so far.
Well, exactly. It doesn't, and that's what I find so suspicious about it all.
Okay.
It'll be interesting.
Head to the scimitar.
Okay. As you make your way out into the town, then, you are again assaulted by the wall of noise, the parasses during the day, with the huge crowds out and about, mingling with each other. You can hear off in the distance marketplaces. You can step out of the way as huge animals drawing carts or carriages laden with goods or people move to and fro. And it, again, the amount of people just assaults your senses. It seems insane to you, the amount of life there is in this city. But it just seems almost devoid of the same kind of actual life as you've experienced previously. Everyone just seems to be like the closest thing you could describe it as in your senses. Everyone's just zombified, just going through the motions. You feel as if you were to ask for directions, they might either look at you gormlessly or kill you. there's no in between. It's very disconcerting. You are all assaulted by this feeling of unease. It is strange not to find any life in a city filled with so many people. But as you walk, and making quite quick time, as Oriana, you do know the way, you get down to the docks. Here, the sense of zombification or going through the motions abates slightly. These are visitors, they are not residents, and they do bring with them the life of their homelands and their own effervescent personalities and their loud, brash nature as the sailors kind of jostle around you. And it almost seems as if anyone living in Paras that comes to this quarter is also kind of infected by the life that they bring, and it brings them out of their shell. And you see people hawking their wares, trades, merchants getting a good deal on new cargo that's come in, many ships moving to and from the docks. And you do then, Dice, Oriana, see in the distance a very familiar ship. Ligel. Quill, obviously having never seen this ship before, does not recognize it. The deck is empty once more. It appears that the crew are either where you found them before or off and about on other business. But as you get to the Broken Scimitar and its many cobbled together buildings that have become one large tavern, there does appear to be an impromptu kind of concert going on inside. You walk in, there is a half-orc, a deep gnome, 2 tabaxi, and 3 tiefling women, all standing on stage, singing sea shanties, but with a much quicker rhythm, almost a sea shanty mixed with like a jig. And the half-orc, though huge, is very deftly playing a fiddle, faster and faster. And everyone in the crowd is very drunkenly trying to sing along, but falling far behind the words from the bard singing on stage.
Sorry, Brian, on the Sirenscape, you've got the crowd noise, but you've still got the other music playing that's like really slow. Sorry. It's very jarring.
Sorry. Get rid.
It's alright.
Okay.
Got like meditation music in a crowd.
Yeah. And yeah, so...
so sorry, did you say I spotted handsome?
Roll me a perception check.
Ooh. That's an 18. Yes, 18.
An 18? Okay. Through the crowd, you do see Handsome sitting over in one of the... a booth very similar to the one that you sat in with him the day before. There is a woman with him, young tiefling lady, and she appears to be trying to put the moves on him, and he appears to be kind of very, very graciously kind of waving her off.
I'm gonna head over to him and I want to ruffle his hair and then sit in his lap.
Okay. As you walk over and ruffle his hair and sit in his lap, you can immediately feel him kind of jerk, and you see his hand go to the mechanical hand crossbow on his hip. And as he sees you, he's startled for a second, but then breaks into the easy grin that you have come to know is almost always on his face. Ah. Hello. See, I told you.
Hi.
I am already spoken for. And the tiefling girl, who is much slighter, much skinnier, much plainer than you, just kind of hangs her head, just kind of walks off.
I say it loud enough that it sounds like I'm talking to him, but loud enough that she would hear go, but she was pretty.
She turns back, smiles at you, and then immediately turns her attention to the booth next to his. where
Smart girl.
it appears she is immediately much more well received. Dice and Quill, do you walk over as well?
Yeah, I'll walk over and go. Hi.
Dice,
Bonjour.
it was, yes?
Yes.
It is a pleasure.
And this is our new friend, Quill.
Bonjour.
Tabaxi, you look,
Ginger?
Less murderous, I think.
I was going to say aristocratic.
Mm-hmm.
You have money,
Well,
yes?
say so. Not on me.
You are a member of the Fragrant Peaks family, yes?
How could you tell?
Probably because I told him yesterday that I had a friend in that family.
You have spoiled my fun, Orion.
Actually, she came
It's what
back
I
and
do.
told us that she'd run into you and asked if Quill would be able to help with a letter for your ships. So we were already aware that you knew of Quill's family connections, I'm afraid.
Yes, it's another thing I forgot because my note-taking spell crashed.
I sort of tap him on the nose and go, "That's what I do," and I get up and move into the other chair.
I sit next to him, but really awkwardly with armor, like, budge, budge, budge.
So you have returned for your strange meeting with parties unknown, yes?
Yeah.
Sit, drink with me until I assume you will be fetched.
I hope so. What's good to drink?
In this place, nothing. But and
What's palatable to
he
drink?
looks out at the rest of the patrons. This is not the kind of place that most people come who care what they are drinking.
What's strong to drink?
They have a passable whiskey.
I like the sound of that because the alcohol will sterilize the glass.
I will also take a possible wix.
It also might sterilize you, my friend. Come.
That's not really an issue for
And
me.
Please, they are new to your cats.
he pours everyone a drink in some of the glasses. He pours everyone a drink.
I just think we need to pause for that wonderful moment. Okay, move on. That was great.
Thank you.
Please spare your DMs.
And on that note, thank you very much. There is no more Chronicles of Nidum to be had.
It is break time.
It is break time.
All right then. If you'd like, we can take a break there. It is 9 o'clock, so yeah, it's break time. We'll be back in 15 minutes. Thank you very much, those who are watching. Thank you for sticking with us so far. It's still weird to me that I'm in control and I've got all the buttons.
It's gonna have to be a slightly longer break, Brian. I need to pop to an all-night butcher and find some steak because Piggy's made me absurdly hungry.
Oh, Brian, Greg, no, God name. Stew is added to it now.
Yeah, they're both being bastards.
You are
So
making us
tomorrow,
hungry.
Brian, we're having steak.
Oh, good. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We're having steak tomorrow.
But yes, please stick around. We will be back in about 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Bye.
Depending on where the all-night butcher I find is.
Hello. What?
We want steak.
Yeah, none of them want to play D&D anymore. It's your guys' fault. They just want steak now. So we're going to end early and go find some steak. No, we're not.
Give me some steak.
Steak by Night still exist.
No.
But no. So, yes, welcome back to part 2 of episode 67
Thank you, Ian.
of the Chronicles of Nidum. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ian. Thank you, mods.
Ian is a good mod.
F's in the chat for the mods.
No, that implies that they're dead.
Not F's. Not F's in the chat.
Right.
That is incorrect.
I'm old.
F's in the
I
chat
get
is
it.
definitely sorry for your death.
This is that you are so old. That's like when that's like when boomer parents use lol, but they mean lots of love. So you get a message that's like, "Hope you had a good time. Hope your grandmother's funeral was all right." Lol.
So welcome back to part 2 of episode 67 of the Chronicles of Nidum, where we left
Ian's
off
dead inside.
in part 1. You had just bumped into Captain Handsome in the Brooklyn Scimitar, and he had just poured you drinks. The music picks up, continues on. The tiefling girls on stage start dancing. They start coming out into the crowd, some of them collecting coin, others collecting favours or appointments for later. One of them comes over and starts dancing and gyrating in front of your table. She is beautiful, slightly innocent looking, though her moves betray that. And she appears to be dancing solely for Oriana. Her eyes do not leave Oriana's face.
I'm watching.
Eventually she climbs up on the table and crawls across the table seductively towards Oriana. And when she gets very, very close, she leans in and whispers, "Follow me, Sherry."
I get up.
I also follow.
She takes Oriana's hand and swings you into a dance. It's an easy dance. It's mainly you walking and her gyrating on you. And eventually you go to the back of the bar, through a door. And with the music now dulled by the heavy curtains that sweep in behind you once you're through the doorway, she stops dancing, looks at you, immediately stands straight. And it's the first time looking at her that she looks dangerous. She stands now. She stands now, and it's reminiscent of the first time you saw one when they walked into the small arena in the tavern in Calas. This is a girl who knows how to look after herself.
Good.
I was sent to find the purest looking tiefling I could. You are not what I expected.
No?
The master will be pleased.
I'm glad.
Please follow me.
I was going to say, I have followed Oriana, just so you know.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm expecting that you all followed. Handsome just kind of waved you all away and kept drinking and watching the show. She takes you through another door, and you now feel like you might be just behind the bar. And in the shadow, you do see steps leading down into the darkness below. She very completely assured that you are following her without looking back, descends into the darkness. Do you follow?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I've decided now at this point I will turn around and fuck off. Yes, I follow.
As you all follow down into the darkness, she turns a corner, and as you turn the corner to follow her, it seems as if she's skipped ahead. She's now maybe 30 feet away. She doesn't seem to be walking too quickly, but she does now kind of glance back over her shoulder. It is a long journey. Please try and keep up. It is dangerous beneath for us. And she continues to walk on into the darkness. You get to another set of stairs. You walk down it. Another turning. She's just now on the edge of your ability to see in the darkness, getting further and further away from you. Do you quicken?
Speed up, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and remember the route
Okay.
as clearly as I can.
Okay. You don't need to.
Okay.
You have a book that remembers it for you.
I know, but
Okay.
I also like to rely on my own brain.
Okay. Roll me an intelligence check then, please.
It's good. I think intelligence check would be 21.
Okay. As you continue down then, you have a pretty good mental map of your journey so far, as it continues on and on and on. But she does seem to always just be at the cusp of your ability to see in the dark. And as you take in the scenery around you, instead of descending further into what you would expect to be dug earth, worked soil, the steps below you would be at home in a castle back home. The walls next to you, old crumbling rock, but built, worked by hand. And before you, you see in the gloom a doorway at the bottom of another staircase, and out that doorway does appear to be a light source of some sort. And you see her step through the doorway.
I follow.
Okay. You follow to catch up. You step through the doorway. And as you all make your way through the doorway, you hear a loud clang behind you as a incredibly heavy iron portcullis falls. The way back is blocked.
Oh.
You turn, your eyes adjust to the gloom, halfway between your need for dark vision and your normal sight. Before you and above reminds you, Dice, and you, Oriana, very much of under Londonium. There are skeletons of homes, places of work, taverns, forges that stretch miles off into the distance, into the darkness and the gloom. The only light source you can see seems to be the sunlight from above, filtering down high above you from sewer grates, from windows that would appear from the street level to be dug into cellars, but are in fact just designed to shed light into this gloomy underworld that you now find yourselves in. You can see off in the distance a castle looming high on a hill in the darkness. And you see in the streets before you, picking through the skeletons of houses, the figure of the woman you were following. You hear a shout out of the darkness. Try to keep up.
We are.
Okay.
I would like to turn to Oriana and very quietly just go, is this some sort of jogging test? Do we have to jog after her? What is the purpose here?
I honestly don't know.
So I'll just walk faster with my tiny little legs.
I'm so tempted to cast Long Strider.
As you pick your way through what once was, and as you look around, you realize that obviously this wasn't built like this. It almost seems that the city above has been built on top of this, as if to hide it. But some of these.
How fast is she going, Bryce? Sorry.
Hmm?
How fast is she going? Like, is she legitimately hard to keep up with?
It's strange. When you see her, she's moving at a completely normal speed. It just would appear that when you lose track of her, she is much further away than the last time you saw her.
Oh, it's magic shit. I can't be bothered to cast Longstrider if it's not going to work.
What's the point?
Just doing freaky magic shit.
You make your way down a thoroughfare, a wide road between much taller and what appear to be much better built structures that have survived the test of time. But what does touch you as well is that none of the structures, nothing, as opposed to almost everything in the world above, nothing down here is touched by elven hand. Everything appears to be of human make, and it is old. You're looking at architecture you've seen in books that stretch to maybe 1,000, 2,000 years old.
I wonder what else is down here.
And as you move, you see a light up ahead. Stretching out of a door, there is a large temple in front of you. And she appears to be standing there, silhouetted in the light. And she steps into the temple.
I go in.
Follow her in, yeah.
Okay. You make your way further towards the temple, then you see inside that there are braziers lit and burning. Pillars, some fallen, some have been weathered and ground down, others still support the ceiling above. This structure seems practically untouched compared to the skeletons of buildings you've seen outside. But it also does smell unlike the musty, ancient air outside. This smells like it's been lived in. You can smell incense. You think you can smell the ghost of a meal prepared here. The braziers burn. She is nowhere in sight, but there is a door at the other end of the temple.
I'm gonna head for the door.
Okay.
Is there anything else around us?
Make a perception check.
Yeah,
Okay, and on that.
yeah. It's sus that she's just fucked off and left us here.
It's so deeply sus. Everything about this is so deeply sus. 19.
Yeah. 14. So I'm glad Greg got in on this.
Okay.
19 using my delightful. This is my newest purchase from Blink Dog Dice. I think it is.
Oh, is that the digital number set?
Yeah.
We have those to give away.
We got them to give away. For an upcoming giveaway, we have a set of these.
It's so nice, and when that giveaway does upcome, everyone should get in on it because
they're
these,
awesome.
These dice are really beautiful.
They are. But yes,
Sorry.
with a 19 then, there does not appear to be that much out of place. As you sit there and listen in the stillness of this underground world that you find yourself in, you can hear breathing. And then another breath, slightly higher, quicker. Further into the temple, two figures, you think, that you can hear their breath.
I'm going to use Detect Thoughts to try and detect the presence of thinking creatures I can't see.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's the range on Detect Thoughts, sorry?
That is a good question. 30 feet.
30 feet. Okay. As you cast the spell and open your mind to the room before you, you do detect the surface thoughts of at least one creature within the range.
What are those surface thoughts?
Not yet. Not yet. Few more steps.
Is this aggressive? Is there aggression in this thinking?
Not really.
Okay, I'm going to push a little deeper.
Okay.
Dig a little deeper.
So they're going to have to make a
Wisdom save.
wisdom saving throw
Mm-hmm.
against my DC, which is not as good as Sepsis was.
It's very upsetting.
Miss having a DC of 18.
I rolled a 4. I think you're okay.
It's higher than that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, so I will shift my attention, probe deeper the target in a second wisdom saving throw. If it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, if any, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind, such as something it worries over, loves, or hates.
Okay. The target is anxious. You can feel that it is ready to spring. It is anxious to begin in its task. And you feel fear as well. That if they do not complete their task set to them by the master, then they will be punished when they return. But you also feel no aggression. There is a excitement. They can't wait to test themselves. And you.
Do I get any... I don't know if I get any idea of where they are. Once you detect the presence of a creature, you can read its thoughts for the rest of the duration as described above, even if you can't see it. But yeah, I don't think I get any idea where it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to call out. What are you about to do?
I'll stop and look at you and I point at the door.
Right. You go through the door.
The breathing quietens. You can
Obviously,
feel
The question would
yeah.
shape the thinking. And
You can feel their fear heighten, that they've been caught, and that the test will be incomplete. Their task, they will be punished. And you can feel an overwhelming fear.
okay, and does an answer to my question come into their thoughts at all?
You can feel blades, or you sense blades, and you sense blades being thrown, thrusted.
Fight it.
Something in there is going to attack us, I think.
Can I cast Detect Magic?
Yeah.
So, it'll only cover up to 30 feet, but it's only a first level, so I don't mind throwing it off and seeing what happens.
Okay. So you cast Detect Magic.
Yeah.
Your arcane senses spread out into the room before you, and there's an evocation sense coming from most of the braziers. It's not a natural flame. And as you kind of peer further towards them, trying to adjust your eyes to staring straight into the light, you realize that there is no fuel in these braziers. There is no wood to burn or oil. That flame just sits there, burning away.
Is this some sort of test for us?
It's a test for something. What's your name?
Roll a persuasion check.
We already know you're
I
there.
don't necessarily want it to say it out loud. I want it to think it.
Okay. Seren.
I'll roll a persuasion check. Sorry?
Seren.
Seren. Yeah, my persuasion check was only a 5, so I don't think that would have done it, but I know anyway. Seren, you have, let's say, 20 seconds to step out here with your hands in the air and any weapons discarded, or I'm going to launch a bolt of psychic force at you, which will most likely kill you.
What do we think?
Okay.
What does it think?
Roll me an intimidation check with advantage because you knew its name.
Yeah, that does seem
Yeah, I was going to say that's fucking terrifying.
Okay, I like the advantage because that makes it an 18.
As opposed to...
Not much.
Okay. From about 20 feet away, from behind a pillar, you do see a figure step into view. And at this
Does
point,
it have its hands up?
then, to give everyone a better idea of what's going on, I will go to the battle map. So bear with me 2 seconds. Oh,
This is where we find that he's made it completely squiffy on the stream and it's not actually loaded and it's off to the left.
That was very impolite of him. I thought.
Wasn't that impolite? I was just saying that was a
Yeah.
concern.
Yeah, I was just concerned about it.
Don't tease
Oh,
the
I
gods.
can see Teddy in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Big Ted. Hi, Big Ted.
Ted.
He lives there now because then the dogs don't eat him.
Seems like a good system.
And he's 30. 30.
What do you guys think of my
3 years old?
new now playing shelf? By the way, while we don't have Beret,
It's
Or-
very nice. You got one.
yeah, I can put the record sleeve
It's
on
very
there
good.
while it's playing.
Is it making you super happy still?
Does make me very happy. Yeah,
Then this is clearly like the best birthday present in general.
it was a very good birthday present. Charlie did very well.
To be fair, you usually do for each other.
I mean, you told me what you wanted, so.
This year, I don't usually. Charlie's very good at buying presents.
Okay. So... there we
Let's see
go.
if this works.
Ta-da! It worked. So...
Hey!
Weirdly disappointed.
I'm up in front. Sorry, but I did say I'd walked into the room.
That's fine. Okay. So, from behind the pillar, then about 20 feet away from you, a short figure clad almost entirely in black leather armor, face covered, eyes peeking out under a hood, walks out, no weapons in hand, hands up in the air.
Oh, excuse me. Can I tell what race it is?
From this distance, with the amount of coverings they have on them, no idea.
How many more of you are there, Seren?
There is no response verbally. However, in their mind, you get the image of 2 others.
Why do you want to attack us?
I do not want to attack you.
But you were going to.
No. I was commanded to test you.
With blades.
It is how we are tested.
Yeah, where I
Who's
come
we?
from, that's called an attack.
Maybe not. Who's we?
The Master's minions, I suppose you could call us.
Where are the 2 others?
Around.
Any
They
thought?
have left now. At least I think they have. And she kind of looks around into the other shadows and the darkness around at the other pillars.
Oh, we're very fortunate to have you as a guide, aren't we? Why don't you walk over here very slowly with your hands up?
I suppose. And she walks over to you. She gets closer to you.
Very suspicious.
Can we see any more detail about her now that she's closer?
There is dark brown hair coming out from under the hood, swept back off her face. Her eyes are wide, fearful. Apart from that, nothing really.
You're scared.
Yes, but not of you.
Of your master.
It is healthy to be fearful of the master.
I'm going to move. I'm going to move around behind her, opposite Oriana.
Okay.
Um,
So what now? Will you lead us in?
I already have. Roll a perception check, Quill.
okay.
I was going to say, can I roll it since I just asked?
Perception 18.
18. Okay. Then it is not a surprise attack.
Hmm.
When-
I was going to say that I was preparing to attack her while, I was getting my scimitar around to attack. That's why I moved there.
It is not a surprise attack, though, when you hear the... It sounds like the sucking, like air being sucked from a room. That is what the sound is reminiscent of to you. And you hear light footsteps. And then out of the shadows from the pillar behind you runs another figure clad exactly like Saren, attempting to stab you in the back. I need everyone to roll for initiative.
There was no way out of this fight, was there? We do our best. We do our very, very best to be
I was
really
just-
well behaved.
I was just trying to trigger it if I was.
Trigger the attack. Oh, I've got advantage on initiative. I always forget. Nice.
What was that sound of? You said a sound of air being sucked out of the room. Was that a spell?
Mm,
Sort of.
magical ability inherent to them as a class. Would you say that was a spell? Something they can do at will?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd only say it was a spell if it consumes a spell slot.
Okay.
No cantrips, obviously, but if it has a spell level, I would say it's a spell.
Okay. It doesn't have a spell level.
Okay. So what we're establishing here is that I cannot counter spell. I
No.
think.
Unfortunately.
Mhm.
Okay. So,
That was one of them, maybe.
Sound of oxygen being sucked from lungs. Very bad for you, don't it? Go on.
Ace. No, sorry, Ace. Fucking hell. Dice.
I am your girlfriend. I've had the same character for over a year. Will you sort yourself out?
I feel like you're casting shade upon me there by calling me fickle because I don't have the same character I started with.
No. What is it with you and Bri assuming things when I'm just saying exactly what I mean?
Okay.
Wait, man.
Stop assuming shit, jeez. You want my initiative?
Yes, please.
20. Which
Okay.
is possibly the best initiative I've rolled in 2 campaigns.
Oriana.
14.
And Quill.
16.
Nice. Okay. And there we go.
And your 2 little assassinates.
I don't suppose he's going to tell us.
He will do shortly.
Okay. There we go. And cool. So, Quill, you heard them. Dice, then you see the person rush from behind the pillar. What do you do? So you'll go first?
Who's go first?
Dice.
Oh, cool. Hi. The little assassinette running towards Quill's back.
Mm-hmm.
Are they wearing anything with metal on it?
They're holding metal weapons, and
But are they wearing anything with metal on it?
Not that you buckles, but mostly covered in leather armor.
Boring. Okay, well, we'll use the sword then. I'm going to cast heat metal.
Okay.
But I'm actually going to cast it at... No, I'm going to keep it at second level. Why not?
Is heat metal a touch spell?
No.
Okay, cool.
60 feet.
All right. So the effects of heat metal again, please, because D&D Beyond isn't working at the moment.
Any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage when you cast the spell. Until the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on each of your subsequent turns to cause this damage again.
Okay.
Which is why it's worth it for dice. If a creature is holding or wearing the object and takes damage from it, they must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or drop the object if it can. If it doesn't drop the object, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of your next turn.
Nice. Okay. So how much damage?
Good spell. So 2d8. Well, I can't tell you that, Bri, because I can't find any of my d8s, so you're just going to have to hang around for a sec.
And what's your spell save DC?
For a con check, 17.
And they fail.
Excellent. They're going to drop the sword, which is going to be very boring for them. But unfortunately, they do only take 4 damage.
Okay, so 4 damage. That's fine.
Very average.
That's no problem. Okay. And is that the end of your go?
Well, no. Yes, because that's concentration as well. The shield spell given to me as my patron's gift is concentration, and I treat it as concentration, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
Because even though it doesn't take a spell slot, I still have to concentrate on it.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating because it removes some of the spell slots I use, and no one else's patron's gift requires concentration. Just throwing that out there. But cool.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't use a spell slot.
It doesn't use a spell slot, but I have to concentrate on it.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so it takes concentration, so I can't use it at the same time as basically any other spell, so it's essentially useless.
Yeah. No, you can't use it at the same time as any other concentration spell. You can still
Most
cast
of my
this
spells
stuff.
are concentration.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because I'm an artificer, and the spells I can use that last for any reasonable length of time will be concentration. Everything, in fact, in combat, pretty much. So yeah, no, that's it.
Cool. Okay. The next in line then is going to be Quill.
Quill. Okay, excellent.
You hear a sword clatter to the floor behind you, and a gasp as they clutch their now burnt hand.
Are they within 5 feet of me, bro? They're sort of halfway between 2 tiles there.
That is an accident.
I figured it might be.
Yes.
Excellent. That's good news.
Oh no, what a shame.
Well, as a bonus action, I will activate my blade song. I'm sure that's hugely surprising to you. Sorry, I'm just checking all of the things it does. I will then, for my first attack, I will make a scimitar attack on Seren, which I believe is an advantage because Seren is flanked, correct?
Absolutely.
Good. That's going to be actions. That is going to be a 22 to hit.
22.
Yeah.
Okay. That definitely hits.
I thought it probably would. So scimitar attack, 1d6, plus sneak attack, 2d6. That is 10, 12 damage. Sorry, 18 damage. I forgot to add the normal weapon damage. So that's 18 damage with attack number 1. For attack number 2, I'm going to do the Blade Song Wizard thing and use one of my cantrips. And the cantrip that I will use will be Sword Burst.
Okay.
So both of those need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Cool.
Oh, they're going to be dexterous as fuck. This is a bad idea.
Okay, so we've got a... well, you say that. They are. But
You still
Fry's
gotta roll.
dice are broken today.
it's a natural
Or
1.
working, depending on this perspective.
From a certain point of view.
I'm going to say the natural 1 probably fails.
Yeah. And a 3.
That probably fails as well.
Mm-hmm. So even with their bonuses, yeah.
Excellent. So, sword burst. All other creatures within 5 feet of me must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 3d6 force damage.
Okay. However, it is a dex saving throw, so they do get evasion.
Okay, so they're going to still halve it.
Mm-hmm.
4, 8, 10. So they take an even 5 for that.
And that's on Saren and the one behind you, yeah?
Saren and the one behind me, yes, please.
Cool.
I will then. Let me just read the exact description of mobile for a second.
Mm-hmm. I believe it's melee attack.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you consider a cantrip with a 5-foot range to be a melee attack? Probably not.
No. However, Saren gets no attack of opportunity on you because you did hit her.
Yeah. Okay. I will. I'll stay where I am.
Okay. Next to go then is Saren, who is going to turn away from you and attempt to hit the person who is wearing much less armor. So their short sword zings towards Oriana. That is going to be 16 to hit.
Cast shield as a reaction.
Oh, okay. So, as the short sword rushes towards you, then you see, you see the arcane barrier flare up, and the sword rebounds off it. With their offhand, then they're going to attempt to stab you with their dagger in their other hand, and that is going to be a 16. How long does shield last for? Is it one attack or?
A round.
A round, okay. And the dagger, again, fails to penetrate the arcane barrier. But as the dagger comes towards you, you do see some dark liquid dripping off the blade.
Ooh, poison, nice.
Okay. And that's the end of her go. She doesn't want to move away and provoke an attack of opportunity. Oriana.
Oh, I'm going to do Scorching Ray on her.
Scorching Ray.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Is that a ranged attack?
It is, so it's at disadvantage, although I don't understand how it's a disadvantage when she stood right in front of me.
I know. I know. I know. I promise. I get it. I hate it. But yeah. So yeah, roll to hit.
16.
16. Okay. 16 does hit.
Sweet. I'll roll them individually.
Okay.
Because it's 3 different things, isn't it?
So you flare with
damaged.
elemental energy.
2d6s.
Ringed in fire.
Yep. Seven points of damage for the first one.
Okay.
17 to hit on the second one.
Yeah.
Which is 6 points of damage. Uh, 19 on the next one. It's so 8 points of damage.
Okay. You see the fire hit, and you hear her start to scream in pain and anger and fear. And she starts trying to pat down the items of clothing that have caught aflame. But she looks at you now, wings spread, fire circling you. And her eyes go wide. And she drops her weapons. Next in line is the other one.
I just...
Okay, sorry.
The other one is the one behind Quill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way I can lean round so he can see me as well?
You can move if you want, yeah.
And she's already dropped her weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'll take a step to the side.
Okay.
Say closer to the door.
So there.
No, other way.
There.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
And just stare at the other one and be like, are you sure you want to carry on with this?
Okay. Let's see. Is he distracted?
Want me to roll intimidation?
Yes, go for it.
Do you have advantage based on being on fire?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, go on then, why not? I'd find that intimidating.
26.
26.
26.
Fucking charisma characters. The other one is distracted by the much brighter light that you now give off. And even without asking, even without you telling it to, the flames in the braziers seem to grow in your presence as you move closer to one of them. The room now is lit up. There is no shadow in sight. And you see the one that was attacking Quill from behind freeze up as she stares at you. You also feel pass over your head then an arrow. Misfired. Was aimed for you. But the shot went completely wide as you glance over your shoulder and see someone else at the far corner of the room, just stepping out from behind a pillar, lower their bow and just stare at you.
How about you just take me to your master?
Take me to your leader.
Saren finishes patting down the flames, the small little ends of the flames on her clothing. We were told to provoke you, to test that you were not an illusion, that you were real, that you had the infernal inside you also.
Oh, I'm real. And I'm real fed up.
Please forgive us. This was the best possible end of the test. You have passed. Please follow. And she kind of...
I'm gonna start muttering in Infernal.
Okay.
Just fucking waste of time, stupid fucking tests.
She kind of looks at you all then. Not to continue the battle, but as if to say, am I allowed to move?
Yeah.
And she bends down and picks up her weapons and slowly shows them to you and sheathes them in front of her.
I leave the weapons slightly hot just as she first reaches down to pick them up, and then I turn it off. So she's like...
Okay. Seems needlessly cruel, but okay.
Actually,
started
is one of those weapons nearby me? Because I might just kick it away from them as they reach down.
Yeah, they're right next to you.
It's not Saren's weapons that heat metal was used on.
Oh, it was the other one.
It was the other one.
That one was also dropped.
Saren dropped her weapons when you
Yeah.
burst the flames.
Yeah, Saren's I can't do anything about, but the other
Yeah, I think
one...
she dropped them out of fear and the need to put out to do a stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah, so Millie's going to leave the other one heated. I will kick one of Saren's knives as far away as physically possible.
Okay.
My flames will go now as well because they only last around just 6 seconds.
Okay. So your flames die down, as do the braziers around you as well. She looks at the dagger that you kicked across the room. Makes no move to go after it. Please, Follow me. And she walks, this time much slower, allowing you to keep up. And she pulls her hood back down, takes her mask off, and you do see that this is the same tiefling girl who brought you to the depths earlier from the bar.
Oh, that's where she went.
And as you make your way then out of the temple on the other side, you see what looks like a fort. And it's very, very reminiscent of the old fort built by the men of Rom that was used as a marketplace in Nidum. It is ancient, but this building is much better maintained than most of the others you've seen so far. And as you approach the gate does open. And as it does, the same wall of noise, slightly more muted, that you're used to from the Paras above, assaults you. And you walk in and you see that all of the buildings inside are much better maintained. There are fires, there are lights from a lot of the windows. You do notice that there are families walking up and down the road. However, the one thing that does really catch your attention about the people down here as opposed to the one up there, as opposed to the people up there, every single one of them bears a scar. Not the same scar, not like a brand, but each person has lost a part of themselves. But not one of them is wearing a collar or a cuff. There are many humans down here. Some have lost an eye, a limb. They're all broken in some way, but they all seem to stand taller than those above. They all seem to be much more alive than those above. And as you walk through the streets, there is music. It is a strange music. It is not as joyous or as quick as the music you've recently heard in the bar. It's a discordant tone, like a ballad or a lament, almost like a funeral, slightly happier. And you are taken closer and closer to the music, and you are brought into what looks like a market square. If the sun was shining above and the music was much more joyous, you'd think there was a festival going on, a celebration. You see merchants hawking their wares. The wares have seen better days. The food is of a mystery meat.
It's rat.
Rat on a stick.
Rat on a stick.
You hope it's rat.
I'm glad I don't eat meat.
Smart.
And as you are taken towards what looks to be the largest home in the town, in a central position inside this square, a human woman opens the door in front of you. She is almost completely bald. There are tattoos all up her neck, and you feel as you look at her cloak and her clothes that they would travel down further, all the way towards the tips of her fingers. You see her feet kind of poking out underneath the cloak, and you see tattoos there. The only place not tattooed is her face. And she is beautiful. Apart from the one horrid scar that runs straight down her right eye. And it looks out at you. Bright white in the light from behind you. And she smiles. Welcome. You are Oriana.
Yeah.
And Dice or Ace, the armored one?
Dice.
Nice. I like your tattoos.
I was told you would be much shorter, and possibly a UNT. And she's looking at you, Quill.
I'm not either of those things, I'm afraid.
Hmm.
My name is Eleanor.
It would
Sepsis.
appear...
Sepsis left us.
Yes, sepsis. It would
In some
appear
interesting circumstances.
that my information needs updating. You
So it would.
subverted our spies in Kalas. Arrived here I'm assuming by train. Yes?
A little ahead of schedule.
Yes, we expected you much later. Traveling by land, it could have taken you possibly a month. But you have made good time. I have a request to make.
Okay.
For
What is your
my-
request?
For my master.
Okay.
You may all enjoy the festivities as much as they are down here. And you will enjoy the hospitality of the master and come to no harm. Any who raise a hand against you will be killed.
Would have been so good to get that assurance before we walked through the front door.
We had to be assured you were exactly who we thought you were. However, for this hospitality, the master requests one night with Oriana.
She's not a whore.
That is not what he is asking.
One night of what?
He did not say.
Okay. Sure.
Then please, come.
Ariana alone.
Yes, the rest of you must enjoy the festival. It will be
All
over
right.
soon.
Any problems, drop us a message.
I'll call for you if I need you.
The night begins now. She calls out in some strange tongue. The Oriana, you know, is infernal. And fire flares at the top of many stone pillars around you and around the entire square. And the square is lit up as if almost like the day above. Everyone cheers and they begin. The songs pick up and start to get much happier. They're slightly discordant. And a swell of people comes out to meet you, Dice, and you, Quill. The woman.
I look really edgy, and I'm like holding my hands out a bit, like,
The bald woman holds out her hand for Oriana.
I take it.
Good luck. Don't die.
She will be returned to you.
I'm okay.
You are led in, then, Oriana, to a large, high-ceilinged room. Very little furniture in there, apart from what appears to be a throne at the far end. There are banners of many different colours above, hung from all of the walls and from the ceiling. Many different symbols, many different languages on them, many different cultures. All with a large red cross painted in perhaps paint. Some have darkened and dried to a brown. That might not be paint. The woman, is there anything I can get you before the master arrives?
No, thank you.
Then call, and I will return. However, the master wishes to see you in private.
What was your name?
I am Kiara.
Kiara. Thank you, Kiara.
I will be at your beck and call. And she walks back out the door you came in and closes it behind her.
So I just stand there, like swinging back and forth on my feet, like. Doo-doo-doo.
After a few minutes of almost complete silence, apart from slight muffle of the sound of the festival going on outside, you hear a rhythmic click of metal on stone, like footsteps. And out of the shadows you hear, "Turn."
Hen?
"Turn around."
Oh, turn. I turn.
"Stop." And as
I'm
you
sorry.
stand, Len, do you stop? Just turning?
I didn't hear what you said. It cut
sorry.
out.
Stop.
I stop.
Okay. And as you stop turning with your back to the throne, then, "Your wings, you have been touched by another plane."
Yes.
"You are even more pure than I."
I couldn't say.
"Well, I am, or was, the purest of us. What is left of me?" And you hear the tapping get closer. "You may turn."
Turn to face him.
Standing about a foot taller than you is a tiefling. Or at least half of one. Metal legs, clawed feet, but they turn back like other tieflings you have seen. Blood red skin. Horns broken, but left jagged, crowning their head. And as you take in his physical form, you notice black tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
They cover most of his body, but as your eyes move, so do they. They swim and meld into one another and move over his skin, never stopping, never static, like tendrils of ink, tendrils of the void, threatening to pull him into the shadows behind him. And his glowing red eyes look at you. "So, you have come?"
It would seem so.
"Welcome, sister."
Fuck you, Stu. And what do I call you?
"You have no memory of me. You were but a child when you were taken."
I have no idea where I am from. My earliest memory is living in a cottage with my granny.
"Then allow me to illuminate you." And he starts coughing into his hand and staggers back on his legs and sits on the throne. "Come." He holds out his hand, swipes it across the room, across himself, and a stone bench that was sitting against the wall grinds across the marble floor until it settles next to him.
I'd go over and I sit down.
"You are my sister."
Okay.
"You are Kraveth Kesh Oriana."
That's a mouthful.
"Your mother thought so. Our mother thought so. Our father Well, it is hard to dissuade a demon.
Our mother made a deal twice.
You have been misled.
Easily done. I was raised by people who don't know much about us.
There are fools out there who believe the lies that a deal must be made, when surely the easiest way to make a child is the old-fashioned way.
Suppose.
You might say our mother had a kink.
That's Ariana laughs as well.
It is a kink I find most humanoid races have.
I can vouch for that, yeah.
You know nothing of your purpose.
No?
Who do you speak to when you pray?
Hades.
Close, but not close enough, I fear. Wrong underworld.
Hades is the only one that spoke back.
Then perhaps my fears are correct and Father has finally passed on. Tell me, in all these years, whenever you call the fire, has it not spoken to you, protected you? Come
Yeah.
stronger than you wished.
Many things have, but yeah.
Then perhaps there is hope for you yet.
Thank you.
Why did you seek me, if you did not know who I was?
I had heard of another tiefling in close impurity to me, and I'd never seen that before.
And I suppose you were raised then by your own people. The other half of you. The elves.
Okay. No, I was raised by a gnome. Are you saying I'm a half elf?
On your mother's side.
Oh dear God. Okay. That's going to take some coming to terms too. No, I was raised by a gnome. I was raised away from elves. I didn't see an elf until a couple of months ago, actually.
I'm sorry. I believed we had much to speak about, but your... the things you do not know have vexed me. I must think on everything. How did you come here?
Rain.
Before Kalas, before we got word of you, you were in Albion, yes?
Yeah. There was a lot of walking. There was another train.
Did you cross by boat?
Oh. Some of the way. I spent some time with the drow.
And how is the matron mother?
Oh dear.
About to be executed by the elves.
I did warn her.
Yeah.
Pity. I was going to woo her eventually.
You might still have time. I kind of might have to try and save her.
I was always a favorite. She very
does Matthew-
rarely took a lover.
Oh, she took and... Well, she tried to... I'm not entirely sure what happened between the two of them, but there was an elf while I was there. A knight.
You see the anger in his eyes flare. A what?
A knight. Benkin. We'd managed to teach him that what he had been taught was wrong.
As you say that name, his hand flares out, and a very familiar metal hilt flies through the room into his hand.
He had one of those. I mean, they all have one of those.
I assume he crafted another after he gifted this to me.
Oh, you knew Benkin. Of course you knew Benkin. You knew his little shit Ankane as well?
Of course. And he gestures down with his hands towards his metal legs.
Ah.
I know Ankane well.
It's become a pastime of mine to give him nightmares.
Were you not friends with Benkin?
Benkin, yes. Ankane, not at all. Although Benkin's dead, so...
He
Ankane
grips the hilt in his
hilt.
hand, and a fiery red blade shoots out of the end of it. Benkin is what?
Ankane didn't take a liking to Benkin trying to help the drow. So Ankane dropped him off a cliff into some lava.
He stands up,
Quite horrific to watch, actually.
screams as he stands, spins, and chops the throne in half. He stands there gazing down at the throne, breathing heavily, and then looks at the hilt in his hand.
I still see him sometimes.
So do I. And you can see a tear fall from his eye and roll down his cheek. He was dear to me.
Yeah, me too. Not that. Not it. It's a long story and it's pointless. He's dead and it doesn't matter anymore.
I would ask that you stay until I have collected my thoughts. Please enjoy the festivities.
Your name. You haven't told me your name.
I am the master. To you, I am brother. But to those who are dear to me, I am Claw.
Oh. How much time do you need?
An hour or so.
I'll stay here.
I was hoping to do my thinking here.
All right. Oh, I don't suppose there's a temple close by to here, is there?
There are many. This fort was built by the.
Hades temple.
This fort was built by the men from and Gracia before them.
And show me the way, or tell me the way.
I'm sure Kiara can help. She is listening on the other side of the door, I am certain.
Kiara?
The door opens. Yes.
Yeah.
Could you take me to a temple of Hades, please?
Perhaps. Your friends outside look uncomfortable. Perhaps we could all go.
Yeah, they can join me, that's fine.
What have you guys been doing outside for the past 20 minutes?
A good question.
Eating
What's
rat on
been
the stick.
happening outside?
Hmm?
I said it's a good question. What's been happening outside? What is there to do?
What are the options?
There is a small festival ongoing. There is
There's a Ferris wheel with
stalls.
cabbages.
There is a cabbage Ferris wheel. Giant underground cabbages. They've hollowed out so you can sit inside.
Don't be ridiculous. They're taking it far too far.
Are there games? Are there games at the festival? Like skill-based games?
There are, but
Balls?
not like bowls or skittles. It's more dice games, gambling.
Do some gambling.
I will join and do some gambling.
Okay. Roll me a sleight of hand check, both of you.
You're implying that we're cheating, bro?
No, they're very dexterous games.
I'm cheating.
I would also be cheating.
Sleight of hand. He wants me to roll sleight of hand. I can roll sleight of hand. I'll roll sleight of hand right now.
I'll roll a sleight of hand right this fucking second.
Hang on, I'm doing maths. 31.
23. Which I thought was good until Phil came along and shit on me. But nevertheless.
51. Okay. Being relative newcomers, as soon as you approach the game's table for Liar's Dice, you are welcomed quite easily to the table. You both sit down, and you can see in their eyes that they think they're going to, looking at your clothing and looking at the way you're dressed in your armor, they think they're going to take all of your money quite quickly. About 20 minutes later, everyone else at the table is very unhappy, as they have lost the majority of their cash. And you and Dice are effectively the only ones still in the game playing each other.
That.
Quill eventually wins. However, you do then, when you're looking at your pot, realize that your winnings are about 60 copper pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I have finished and have lost to Quill, I'm going to stand up and give each of the... How many people were at the table?
5 others.
$1 million gold.
Sorry?
I was just going to use the money to buy drinks for everyone we've been playing with.
You can do that.
Okay. So a round of drinks is bought. Not one of the cups, goblets or glasses looks exactly the same. One you think is just a small but quite deep bowl. All of them are cracked, broken, chipped, stinking on the outside, but as you look inside the glass, it does look as if they have been very, very thoroughly cleaned inside and around the edge where the mouth would touch. And everyone, once the drinks are bought, is a bit more, slightly less grumpy with you.
What does it cost to buy drinks for 5 people? If 60 copper is the pot for the whole...
5 copper.
between all of them.
Mhm.
Aww.
Okay, I'm gonna. I'll whoever the person we just bought drinks from is, I'll give them the whole 60. I'll just say, keep 10 of that for yourself, and use the rest to make sure these guys don't have to pay for their drinks for a little while.
The guys at the table kind of half-heartedly try and, say no.
Oh no, we couldn't possibly.
We
No,
couldn't
no, no.
possibly.
Well, like
Yeah,
drawing
no.
Oh,
drinks
go
in
on,
towards
then.
them.
Very generous, yeah.
If I must. But the serving woman does kind of nod and smile, and she's very happy to take the 10 copper tip off you. And
Great.
People usually are very happy to take my tip, right?
she immediately comes back with, you think, probably the cleanest glass they've got, and proceeds to pour your drink into it and give that to you.
Aww.
And this looks like a crystal decanter that may have been bought with a 5-finger discount from the world above.
Hey, while we're all such good friends, I had some questions about this place, this undercity. Does it extend below all of Paris?
One of the youngest kind of looks around at the rest of them, who are a bit too maybe embarrassed to speak in their very, very kind of uneducated way. They're embarrassed to like mix words with you. But the youngest among them, he looks no older than like 15, 16. Just kind of like, I came when I was a lad, and I wonder. I've walked miles and miles around this place, and it goes on forever until the catacombs and the tunnels. But you can't go out that far because there's all manner of gribblies and horrible things out there.
Interesting.
There's
And,
gribblies in the catacombs.
Now, the catacombs, there are
Sorry.
like skeletons that move and try and kill you, but they're quite slow. It's anything further than that is like big serpent things and giant bugs and something called Humberbulk or something.
Sounds dangerous. And you say you've wandered through the city a lot.
Oh yeah.
So if I wanted to get to somewhere in particular in the city above, without too much fuss and too many people bothering me, you'd probably be the person to ask for directions, I suppose.
Or for a guide.
I don't know that much about the whereabouts of things above. If you've got a way that I could see, if you've got a landmark and you tell me where it is and how far above something is away from it, I could tell you relatively where it is down here. Yeah.
I have a map
You got a map?
of the city. I've got a map of the city. Yes.
Yeah, that'll work.
Dice, can you show this this fine young gentleman where the Fragrant Peaks Manor is on your map, please?
I certainly can. Come here, kid. And I'll show him on the map where we're staying. But while he's looking at it, I just want to ask as well. So, you say you haven't spent much time on the surface. When people move down here, do they stay? They stay down below?
For the most part. It's like all the humans you see around here are basically, they got away before anyone had a chance to exact revenge on them for their bid to freedom.
Escapees.
Well, like your grandfather's grandfather got a collar and it gets passed down, and if you step a foot out of line and all that, then the collar gets activated and his head pops off and goes splat everywhere. Yeah, well, if that grandfather dies, the collar goes down the line, right?
So I've heard, yes.
Well, if they're not there to receive it, the collar ain't going anywhere. But they can run off. And a lot of people tend to run out into the countryside. Others come down here.
Where you're well treated?
As long as we follow the rules, yeah.
What sort of rules?
And who makes them?
The master.
I think we know who makes them.
I don't know. I don't know this master. We haven't met.
Well, he's alright, really. Leaves us well enough alone for the most part. You know, we've got all our own little community down here. We steal from above if we can. We help feed each other. Apparently, there's loads of little communities like this out in the world. Or at least that's what the stories are.
There are.
Communities
It's true.
of free humans who live hidden from the elves.
Some of them hidden, some of them I think engage in jobs against the elves perhaps, but thank you. Anyway, sorry, this is the manor on the map.
I was going to ask, got no idea where that is, but can you point on a map where you came in here?
Yeah, and I'll figure it out and point to it on the map.
From the dock, the broken scimitar, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, and you would have come from over there. So, what's the... don't know the word. How big this is for how big...
Gale.
like a foot is.
I'll give him the scale. I'll point to where it is on the
Okay.
map because it should be written on the map if they have any sense. And I'll point to the scale and explain what it means.
Right, so... yeah, that's about 2 miles in that direction.
Correct? But underground.
Yeah. There's a lot of towers over there, actually. You can probably get to the ceiling above with a bit of help.
With a bit of help from who? You or another?
I was going to say like ropes and climbing stuff.
And how?
Or magic. Hey, I hear there's someone in town who's got wings.
As have I.
Have you? You got wings?
No, as I have also heard this.
Oh, right, sorry.
Sorry to have confused you. If we did get to the ceiling, how difficult do you believe it would be to break through?
Oh, the ground up there, all the foundations come down. They've punched holes through this lot thousands of times. It's like a honeycomb.
So easy.
Well, you might get lost, a couple of like twists and turns, but eventually you'll get into a relative or relevant like sewer or cellar. You'll get there.
Interesting. This is very valuable information. You've been a great help to me.
We go up there quite a bit, but just into the cellars and stuff. Like we know where the good cellars are, where there's loads of stuff, so they won't miss like a bag of grain, a sack of potatoes, in there, kind of thing.
And to buy bogus bunts and beans? No? I see.
I'll give him a silver.
Are you sure, sir?
Yes, of course.
You got
You're very helpful.
You've been a great help to us.
You got more of that you can miss?
Depends what you're offering.
Nothing, but there's no harm in asking, is there?
I'll give him another silver since since I like his enterprising spirit.
I like this kid.
Thank you very much, sir. And
Thank you.
I will make sure to change my plans and leave your purse on your person.
You could have tried.
I would have been entertained to see you attempt it.
Well,
We are not so weak as we look.
if it would entertain you, sir, I might still have a go.
I love him.
I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and rob him.
Hey kid, I have a question. Just to distract him while you're doing whatever you're doing.
Are you actually
Yeah,
casting Mage Hand to rob him?
Yeah, you're goddamn right.
Okay, all right, okay.
I'm going to do it with advantage since Dice is distracting him.
I do have a genuine question as well.
Yeah.
If you're looking to earn some more coin, how would you feel about serving as guide? Should we require one?
I can take you there. Yeah, no problem.
33.
33. Yeah. The mage hand materializes.
On it.
Only you know where it is. Completely invisible to everyone else. What do you want to do?
I steal his money and I tie his shoelaces together.
Okay.
It's so weirdly specific. I love it.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Fucking rogues. Fucking arcane rogues.
Wizard rogues.
Oh man. Okay. I can be a guide. I can take you there. No problem. Have you got any other business here? Do you want to go now? Do you want to go in a bit?
We are waiting for our winged friend.
All right. I'm gonna go get some food then. I'll be back here in a bit, I suppose.
Yes,
Sounds great.
Have a look. How could we find you if
You are paying for my services, yeah?
Yes, of course.
All
Of
right,
course. How can we find you if we get separated?
I'll be over by the food stalls, and you see there's like 5 food stalls kind of in a ring. All
What's your
pointing
name,
out.
kid?
I'm Scout.
Scout.
That's cute. Okay.
I had another name, but that's what people started calling me, and I can't remember what my other name was. So,
I think it's a fine name.
thank you.
Have I noticed that his shoelaces are tied together? I'm just really curious.
It's under the table.
It depends if your passive perception beats a 33.
It does not. I haven't noticed. It's cool.
All right, thank you very much. And he
Thank you,
stands up.
Scout.
He's going to roll the dexterity saving throw. And he falls flat on his face. He rolled a 4. He just
Poor kid.
and topples like a tree.
I stand up and immediately help him. Are you okay? What happened there?
I'm all right. My shoelaces appear to be tied together.
Can't imagine how that would have happened. And I hand him his purse and say, I think you dropped this in the tumble.
And he looks at you. He's like, "Yeah, you'd be all right out there. You got nothing to worry about."
Thank you. Your approval means the world to me.
You know, you said you'd be entertained if I tried to steal your purse.
I remember that, yes.
I did not find that entertaining.
Has he got any scrapes or anything on his face?
He's got like a little scuff on his nose because he face planted the floor.
Yeah, I just cast Cure Wounds and fix it.
I was going to give him a healing word, but that works as well.
Yeah, I'll just cast it. It's fine. It's only a level 1.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, I don't have healing word. That was a different character.
I'm just going to go get some food.
Yes. Thank you very much for your time, Scout.
And he walks off. And it's at this time that Kiara walks over with Oriana.
That's not a name, is it?
Kiara,
Yes.
yeah?
It's no, I mean Oriana's name.
Kiara walks over with
Oriana.
Oriana.
Oriana or whatever you said.
Oriana. Anyway, you picking on children now? Is that what's...
Actually, we were making friends with the children, would you believe?
I thought we were getting along famously, in fact.
Yep, I think he likes you. He respects you, for sure.
Oh, well,
I think he's
you've
less
got a
likely to
choice.
attempt to rob me.
Well, then you've got a choice. You can stay here and continue to make friends, or you can come with Kiara and I to a Hades temple.
Sounds fun. I'm in.
Sounds fascinating. Is
Are
there
you
a
okay?
Are there any temples to Dionysus nearby?
Possibly. Apparently a lot of the things around here were built by Grecians.
There are perhaps Dionysus wine?
Well,
Among other
yes.
things. Yeah, among other
Among
things,
other
yes.
things.
I tend towards the finer things in life. I enjoy wine.
That's definitely Dionysus then.
Come. And she stalks off ahead.
why is everyone here so quick? And I'll follow her, like...
They've got things to do.
I'm very short.
I cast Long Strider on dice.
I've got an hour to spare anyway before I have to go back.
How's it going with your new friend?
There's a lot to take in.
Well, I'm here if you need anything.
I've got.
Why am I moving so fast? Sorry.
I've got a brother,
An actual brother?
an actual brother. Oh,
How are
and
you?
here's the kicker. Our mother's an elf.
You're half elf?
Half
Technically.
elf, technically speaking.
Do you
You're
know
still
your
hot
mother's
to me.
name?
No, I haven't gotten that far. He did say our father's name, but it also sounded like he was sneezing and coughing at the same time.
Demons, huh?
And it's infernal.
Are you pleased to know that you have a brother?
I don't know.
Quill,
Yes.
as someone brought up outside of Nidum, as a member of the Empire, half-elf with you, because you are so open-minded, does not bristle, but you are aware of the attachments to that, or the social attachments that come with being a half-elf. They are hunted to almost extinction. Half-elves that do not pass as any other race. They are thought to be traitors. They are not trusted by humans or elves. And they are hated by almost everyone.
Ariana, what do you know about how half elves are perceived in the Empire?
Oh, they're perceived like shit. We've met one.
We had a friend.
Good. I just wanted to check.
I'm a tiefling, Quill.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
no matter what breeds with a demon, it's a tiefling that results.
Yes, that's true, and good. But also, I think that you might want to keep this element of your heritage to yourself around the full-blooded of your mother's people.
Wasn't exactly about to go shouting it from the rooftops.
No,
No,
but that
probably
would be a
from
weird thing
anyone
to
in
do.
this party to be open about something that they should be keeping secret. Hey,
Point
did a
taken.
little person in a cloak just walk past us and say something sarcastic?
Starting to sound like our old friend.
It takes...
But yeah, there's shit happening. I just want to get to the temple now.
Okay.
As you make your way through then the ancient city, Kiara does eventually stop. And before you, you do see low walls. These are completely overgrown with just creeping plants. But they seem to bear fruit. And there is a very sweet, almost cloying smell as you walk into a garden. The temples, for the most part, are open. There are pillars, the roofs long ago removed to build other structures. However, the statues, it would appear that the atmosphere down here is one that has the most of the statues you've seen are marble or white stone. It almost looks like someone has tried to paint over them to make them look more lifelike and give their clothes a bit more vibrancy, their skin some colour. But as you get closer to these statues of many different ancient gods from lots of different cultures, you see that no one's tried to paint over them. This paint is ancient. This is what the statues would have looked like in their heyday. But as you peer across them, you do see off in the distance, taller than all the others, holding a lightning bolt in hand, bearded, well-muscled,
Adventurous as fuck.
with a swan at his feet. Zeus. On his right hand, holding a trident with one of the prongs snapped off halfway, Poseidon. on his left hand, shorter and slightly further back from all the other gods, Hades. And behind Hades, a temple much smaller than all of the others.
Head to that temple.
Okay. Are you going with it?
No, I think this is something Ariana should get to do alone.
Do I see a Dionysus? Because if there's one of those, I'll visit it.
There is a Dionysus.
I'll head in that direction.
Okay.
I'm just going to hang out with Kiara. None of my gods are here.
Kiara kind of turns to you. I do have business to attend to.
All right, I'll just sit here. On my own. Thanks.
Okay.
I'm joking, of course. Go do your business. Yes.
Oriana, as you walk towards the Temple of Hades, the closer you get, a light from inside the temple starts to brighten. It is blue and wavering. But as you step across the threshold, the room inside is not a worked temple, marble walls, frescoes, and statues. It is reminiscent of the cave, or the cavern that you found yourself in your dream, speaking to Hades. You can see a window through which a dark green river passes. Faces of people under the water passing in death. Hades is nowhere to be seen. However, as you step further into the temple, feeling a wave of cool comfort flowing over you, you do feel a hand on your shoulder. And as you turn, you see the white armor, the healthy beard, and the long golden blonde hair of Benkin. Oriana,
Hey, Ben.
I have been trying to speak to you for so long.
I know. I'm sorry it took me so long to get here.
Will you sit?
Yeah.
There are many things I have to tell you.
I've got a brother. He knows you. Knew you. Knows you.
He sits down, and even as he steps away from you, you can see that he doesn't need to sit. He seems to almost hover an inch above the bench, as if sitting is just a motion for him, and he doesn't actually occupy the space. You do have a brother. You did have a mother. And knowing what I know now in death, she was very beautiful. I
Good.
loved her greatly.
Great.
But such is the way of things between siblings.
Jesus. You're my uncle?
That's terribly disturbing.
You're
And
my
we're going to
Uncle
leave
Ben.
it there.
You're my Uncle Ben.
And as it is coming up on 5 to 11, we are going to leave it there for this
Because
evening.
Bride cannot resist a nice little cliffhanger.
Yes. We're going to leave it there for the evening. Because it is
Look how
11
pleased he
o'clock.
is with himself. Look at him. Look at his happy little face.
Oh, you know he's been planning this for months. He loves it when things like this happen.
He's
makes me so
just
happy.
been sat there the entire time, like, why won't they get off this fucking train already?
But yes,
You
episode...
made Maul my brother.
Yeah.
You made Oriana Savage.
He made
You made Oriana Savage oppress.
He also made Darth Maul Obi-Wan Kenobi's nephew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of a weird move.
I guess
Look,
you get to.
I know,
every-
I know. You're very happy with yourself. End of
Every
stream.
DM is a writer of weird fanfic. That's basically
I tell
all
you
we
what.
are.
I tell you what, finding
Yeah.
out Oriana's the parentage, that seems like a real milestone in our journey, doesn't it, guys?
We've
like
just
something
leveled
they'd be
up.
building.
It doesn't seem like one we're going to get away with, Greg.
Yes.
I did have to bite my tongue when he said you're like you had a mother, not to go. No shit, I had to come into the world somehow.
Yep.
I thought you were very restrained.
I hope you've all enjoyed. But yes,
Perfect.
we're going to end episode 67 here. Thank you very much, obviously, to those who've stuck around and watched along and been on this journey and enjoyed this story with us. I don't know what's going to happen next week.
Whether we'll be here or the other place.
Best case scenario, we're back on heavyweight gaming. And it all gets fixed as quickly as possible.
Everyone, keep your fingers crossed for AD to get his access to his channel sorted out because he's worked so hard.
Yeah.
Worst
it's
case
not like-
scenario, we're all going to get involved in a massive marketing campaign for Heavyweight Gaming Version 2. If he needs to launch that. And
Heavier weight gaming.
Heavier weight. Oh my god.
That is what it should be
Oh
called.
my god. I said heavyweight, but W8. And he said no,
Okay.
because he's not a child and doesn't use digits in his usernames.
Yeah, he's
Which-
left leaked where it belongs.
Which I feel was
Yeah.
a bit of an attack on the username I use for everything. But anyway,
As it should be. It deserves to be
attacking
attacked.
my username for months.
but yeah, hopefully we'll be on Heavyweight Gaming. If not, there will be a version 2, or if he hasn't got it set up by then, we'll be back on this channel. However, please join us anyway this week, either on Dice of the Beholder or follow along, because it's been a lot of fun. Because I'm not going to play it now. I'm just watching Charlie's VODs of Mass Effect. Very much enjoying Charlie's run through of Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Will there be more of that this week, Charles?
There should be. There probably won't be tomorrow because I'm working later than I usually do, but I'm off work on Tuesday, so I'll probably get a couple of hours in then.
Very cool.
We are making our way through Mass Effect 2 at the moment. We're just doing a bunch of loyalty missions before we carry on with the main story.
Oh yeah, you got to get the loyalty mission.
Oh, and romancing Garrus. We had the first sort of romance scene with Garrus there the other night.
Yay!
We're getting there.
Get in there.
Yay.
It'll all play out in episode 3. Everything will be fine in episode Mass Effect 3. Sorry, not episode 3.
Episode 3.
Oh, you can pick your own colour to win. So
Oh my god, I just found out that in amateur boxing there's a weight class called super heavyweight. It could be super heavyweight gaming.
That's a really good name.
Um,
Someone should suggest this to AD immediately.
We will. But yes, apart from that, you can come and watch Greg and Millie be awesome at Valorant, and me just kind of bring up the rear a bit.
run out into the open and then reload your weapon.
You're excellent bait.
I am very good bait.
Yeah.
Point to point, right?
My favorite
No.
thing is to resurrect you so that someone will pop out and kill you, thereby revealing their location to me. It's always fun.
There's not many games that you can die more times than there are rounds, but Greg has found one, and I keep playing. But yeah, we will be around.
I can vouch as somebody who doesn't play Valorant that it is still entertaining to watch them play it.
What, because we're all going, oh no, I am dead again.
Fuck.
Shit.
It's more when Bri dies and he watches Greg's cam, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheerleader wife. There we go. But yes, as always, thank you very much to those who have watched. Thank you very much to those who will watch. Take care, stay safe.
Sorry, it's all a bit
Wear a
squicky.
mask. Don't go outside unless you have to. Get vaccinated if you can. Can't wait to see some of you guys in person. And
Sure.
yeah, we love you guys, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.